ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight here on The Keel Show, your host, Alex Keel, the Inside of the Insiders, Tyler Keel, present to you the Red Wings Trivia Battle of all Trivia Battles.
You mean this thing here, Alex? This thing?
Look at that.
The
The battle of the century between the Nine-Timers Club, Harrison Watt of the Fair State Bulldogs, and Thomas Biondo.
I will say this. That was pretty good there, Alex. I will give you that.
I'm just saying, if as a fallback retirement thing or whatever, or even just as like a hobby, PA announcer, I could do it.
We should probably inform people, because as I can tell, I'm like, whoa, there's bars on top and everything's backwards. Okay, yes. We're doing this on Google Meet again, okay? We're doing this on Google Meet because, well, we like to have a video chat with this one. A, so we can make sure no one's cheating.
True.
Number two, well, that's how it works. We haven't figured out the system to
see, but here's the thing.
OBS has this virtual camera thing, and that was
the software that we use.
Yes, OBS, outbound software. Who knows?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
I love it. It works, but unfortunately, we're not being able to figure out how to get the camera flipped when we do the Google Meets. But hey, it's okay because it's fun for it's fun for the kids. It's for the kids.
Before we get into all to that, we have to do our normal duties.
Yes.
You are watching us here live on 12 Ounce Sports. Watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Zingo TV, channel 761. Sign up for free using the code 12 Ounce 12OZOZ for our proper English listeners.
Thank you. Finally admitted it.
Get involved in the show. Hashtag TKS at The Keel Show on Twitter and Facebook. If you have any questions, hit us up in the chat or in the comments during today's episode, and we will do our very best to answer them during the show or next show. If you're not watching us live, you are either listening to us on your favorite podcatcher or you are watching us on the Keel Show replay on the Keel Show YouTube page, which we also thank you very much.
I will say this. It's going to take us a little bit longer to get the audio up because if you guys have realized in the past, well, actually, they don't realize this, but because I've never explained it.
True.
I have to re-record the audio because my computer's getting the mics that Alex and I are saying. What we're saying, the laptop can hear it. But when we get Thomas and Ken Cal and our special guest for one of our questions, did I say that? I just said it, didn't I?
You just did.
Harrison Watt. No, they weren't here. No one gets it.
You mixed it up, Ty.
Harrison Watt and Thomas Biondo.
You already said.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
You said.
Shh. I didn't say it. No one picked it up because I can tell you right now, no one's watching.
Sure.
No one's watching yet. I have to record that because the audio, you can hear it at home or your podcast or whatever, but live it doesn't hear it. It'll be a minute. It won't be up at like 10 o'clock like it usually is. Anyways, Alex.
Moving forward. Today's show on 12 Ounce Sport is brought to you by Second String Leather Company. Big sale of $75 for waffle board wallets and more. Go to secondstringleathercompany.com for the best deals in all hockey leather products. Second String Leather Company, crafted from the grease.
I have to make sure I point opposite the way it usually is. I'm like, usually, hey, look, it's right here. But I'm like, no, that's the TKS thing. It's over there now.
Thank you, genius.
I'm just saying, mirrors.
This episode is also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Bet on all sports, win, and get paid using the promo code 12 Ounce Sports.
Did Thomas actually bet?
Join for free today.
Did Thomas actually bet on Friday, you think?
Not.
Because he whipped it out, and I was like, oh, dear God, Thomas, what are you doing?
No, he did not, because he decided that the payout was not worth the investment.
Well, then again, yes.
Which he also, if he bet on that, would have lost dramatically because Iowa, yikes, beat MSU.
Oh, he was picking the Iowa-MSU game.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, like, the Michigan game. Well, that didn't go well.
Well, that was the game that they were displaying and talking about on the TV on College Game Day.
Was there a good football game for Michigan this weekend? I think Central got beat by Ohio last week. This was a bad weekend. I know we're a hockey show. Let me get this through this here, Alex. Michigan, throttled by Indiana. Sparty, throttled by Iowa. The Lions, throttled by Kirk Cousins. So I guess you can say Michigan State won something this weekend. But not a good day for football. That's why.
I count the Detroit Lions as the West Windsor Lions.
The West Windsor Lions.
Because I don't want them.
You don't want them?
Nor do I want the Fords.
Okay.
Ford cars, yes. Ford family, no.
Here's the problem, because Thomas actually left. Thomas left at halftime. He straight up went home, at halftime because Thomas came over and hung out with us this weekend.
Sure.
And he straight up left because he's like, I can't do this. And I'm like, well, we can change the game. No, I need to go home and sulk.
See, that's why I just didn't. I knew I was going to be disappointed with Michigan sports this past weekend. That's why I just went shopping with my lovely girlfriend, Katie.
Well, that was the thing, though. I thought they were going to play better. And I thought it was going to be.
You thought, and you thought wrong.
I clearly thought wrong, so, but yes.
If you're not thinking wrong and you're thinking right, make sure to check out all of the merchandise at teespring.com/store/The Keel Show. All the spaces are nice little dashes.
Yeah. Look at it.
The Keel Show.
Yes.
We have T-shirts, sweatshirts, crew neck sweatshirts. We have stuff for the ladies, including leggings.
Yes.
All of the best stuff you could wear in the fall/winter months while repping your favorite show.
Yeah.
The Keel Show.
And I made sure I
together.
I made sure I took it down this time, unlike the last video where it was
figure out some sort of catchphrase for that.
TKS get swagged up. No, I'm going to say no.
Tyler, you
get swagged up. Swagged it up.
Why is your thing whenever it comes to marketing, it's get swagged up?
I work at Davenport. I work at a college campus where stupid vocabulary is used consistently for promotional purposes.
You really graduated high school in 2013, didn't you?
I went to Davenport in 2015 where dubstep was king.
Yes, it was. And you know what? I was okay with it.
You know what? You were wrong.
I'm always right.
You were wrong.
Like we said, today's program is the Detroit Red Wings Trivia Battle of the Century. We are going to.
It's that thing right there. That thing.
Yep, that thing as well. Yep.
I'm just making sure. Well, I forgot.
Thank you, Tyler, for destroying the minds of our audio listeners only.
I'm making sure
that right there. Oh, pointing.
Because last week I forgot to put on the video.
Just stop. Just stop. You talk too much. Stop.
More coffee.
No, you need less.
More coffee.
Less. Oh my goodness.
Darkness, my old friend.
For all of our audio listeners that were not able to watch the beginning part of our episode, we had this episode being in memory of the late Alex Trebek and Howie Meeker. They passed away. Meeker was the 47 Calder Trophy winner. Sorry.
You're about to say Calder Cup.
I want to. Every time I say Calder, I want to. He was the 1947 Calder Trophy winner. He beat Gordie Howe for the award. He's a 4-time Stanley Cup champion with the Leafs, commentator and analyst for Hockey Night in Canada and TSN. He was the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award winner in 1998, and he was a member of the Canadian Parliament.
And Order of Canada. Yeah, that was one thing, too, I found out, because back then, Alex, hockey players didn't make a whole lot of money. They weren't getting millions of dollars. Like the first player, it took them to the 70s for a drunk Doug Norris or James Norris, a drunk James Norris to offer Harold Ballard $1 million for Frank Mahovlich from the Blackhawks. That was the closest anyone ever came to $1 million in those days. An accidental, too many drinks offer sheet. I mean, it was a check, but that was the closest players got paid. So a lot of them actually, you know what's funny, Alex?
$1 million in the 70s was a lot of freaking money.
I know. So that's why it was a big deal. That's what I'm getting at. And Red Kelly, when he was playing in Toronto, would drive up to Ottawa on his off nights to go up to Parliament because he was a member of Parliament. And
Red Kelly was a member of Parliament?
Red Kelly, when he was with the Leafs, not with Detroit, obviously.
Well, obviously.
Because that'd be a hassle. I mean, I don't know how hard it was to get across the border back in those days, but driving to Ottawa from Detroit, even if you go through Port Huron,
that must have been a frickin'
that would have been a nightmare. I doubt he did that. But
I'm just thinking that must have been the biggest ego thing in the world. Not only am I a professional hockey player, but I'm also a member of
Tita Kennedy.
Canadian
Yes, I don't know
Parliament.
how.
That'd be like one of the Kennedys playing for the Washington Capitals.
No, well,
or let's
the
say
Redskins, because they were called the Redskins back in those days, kids.
What do you mean the Redskins?
Washington Redskins.
We're talking hockey here.
Well, there was no team back then. He would have played for the Baltimore Skipjacks back in those days.
I mean, probably played.
I'm thinking when JFK was alive.
The Bruins then?
I'm trying to think. It was 61, 63. It was still the original 6. Yeah, Boston or New York would have been the closest.
Yeah. I'm right, as always.
Well, there was
as per usual.
Well, if we're talking baseball terms, there's Washington Senators right there.
I mean, I was talking about the current Kennedys or what's left of them.
Wow. Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
I'm sorry. A lot of them died. Some for natural causes.
You know what, Alex?
Some not.
Leave the dark jokes to Dave Chappelle. Let him do that. Did you watch the SNL monologue from Saturday?
did.
Holy Lord, I cannot repeat a single thing from that show.
It was so good.
It was.
Hey, you know what the best part about SNL for the next 4 years is that we get Jim Carrey.
We get Jim Carrey
as
you have to
President-elect Joe Biden.
Jim, you have to stay in New York. Why? I don't want to. Well, too bad. Biden was elected, but I didn't think he was actually.
He has plenty of money and he gets paid.
Yeah, but I think he I don't know where he lives, actually. I actually don't know. He dropped off the map there for a few years, and he came back and said that, how Andy Kaufman took over his body or possessed him during the shooting of Over the Moon. Did you see that Netflix special?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes.
That one was weird. But anyways, Howie Meeker, though, this was one that I saw. I knew of him because he just turned 97 recently, and I heard about it, and I'm like, oh, because I didn't know much about him. Because Howie Meeker, unlike Bob Cole and I guess Danny Galvan was passed before my time, but I didn't know much about the commentators that worked with Gallivan, Cole, and Hewitt back in the days. Meeker was one of the biggest ones. And you saw that across social media of how many former broadcasters, Gord Miller, Chris Cuthbert. If Bob Cole, I'm pretty sure if he had Twitter, he'd be praising Howie Meeker for what he meant to the game, because he wasn't just a commentator. He also did video, like hockey school programming on the CBC back in those days. Before Peter Puck. Remember Peter Puck? The little puck that would teach you how to play the game or teach you about the game?
Sure.
Yeah, there was Howie Meeker, actually being your coach.
Well, I mean, the only reason I know him is because he was in the comics for USA Hockey.
Well, yes, that too. But regardless, that was the best part about getting thrown out. What? Why are we getting commented on stuff? Oh, they were showing. Oh, because our Instagram video. I'm like, why is Second String Leather commenting on our Instagram? Well,
because they love us and we love them.
And also because it had Second String Leather Company, bam, over there. But
you're killing our audio listeners. You know
I am
right?
killing. I know. I'm getting too TV. I'm getting too mainstream. Is that what the thing is? Is that what the kids call it nowadays? But obviously a huge loss to the game, and of course it was even more depressing and even more of a heartbreak, given that just a couple hours before we lost the great Alex Trebek, can
we talk about how Sean Connery and Alex Trebek are now dead?
For all of us,
some sort of
for
hell
us,
together.
Late 90s, early 2000s, Celebrity Jeopardy bits from speaking of SNL, Will Ferrell, and oh gosh, who was the actor that played Sean Connery? I think it was Gordon. He wasn't the guy that he was one that also played Bill Clinton back when he was president on SNL. But it just works out so perfectly. But Alex Trebek, and that's one thing too, because I always knew he was a Canadiens fan through and through. He was born near Ottawa.
Daryl Hammond.
Hammond, thank you who played Sean Connery. And Will Ferrell, of course, played Alex Trebek. And he played the Trebek with the mustache Trebek. So when we were kids, Alex Trebek.
Sure.
And Trebek was if there's a guy in, whether it be media, broadcasting, whatever have you, to be so, I don't say monotone, Alex, but so calm and collected whenever he's talking, but at the same time, more charismatic than everyone in the room. It was Alex Trebek.
Yeah, that wouldn't be monotone at all. Monotone would be talking like this and being like this, and no.
Well, yeah, sorry, calm. Having a very calm, and I guess the word I came right to my head there was smooth demeanor, and being the most charismatic. Like not getting overly excited.
Sure. Well,
he was
a game show host.
Well, yeah, but look at the past. We have Pat Sajak.
That wasn't his brand, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But he was able to. He was I don't know if there's a better game show host ever. I like the people that come out and say Family Feud. I'm talking old Family Feud. Steve Harvey, Steve Harvey's his own thing.
Steve Harvey has highlight videos on YouTube.
So does Trebek, just not as many.
Steve Harvey's are funnier.
Listen, Trebek absolutely...
Does Alex Trebek's mustache look like the grill of a Jeep Wrangler?
It did. Back in the day. Back in the day, that one hurt because I remember because he had terminal pancreatic cancer. It was stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
You didn't even say which stage it was until you don't have to say excuse me.
Well, terminal and stage 4, they're two different things. I used the wrong terminology.
Part near though.
Correct. So that's why we knew it was coming, and it's funny. Kel and I, since we accidentally got YouTube TV for this month, we actually watched a couple of times this week, and you could tell he was different, but he still was going at it. It was the same Trebek, the same same lingo. Was able to chat up everyone, made it seem normal, even though despite it's not normal nowadays how we're because they were still recording. They started recording later, so they had to do the distancing or whatever as best they could on the show. But and the best thing, his last, I guess you can say, appearance, probably one of his last recordings, was making the selection or announcing the selection of Tim Stützle of the Ottawa Senators. That was cool. Where when they went to Jeopardy for the 3rd overall pick, and I'm like, that kid is going to be. And Tim Stützle went on Twitter and social media saying he wished and he wanted to meet the guy that drafted him per se, and unfortunately he's not going to get that chance. But Alex Trebek that one's a tough one. A guy that loved hockey, not just because he's Canadian, but also because he grew up in an age where Maurice Richard, Henri Richard, John Beliveau just tore the wheels off the league. And he lived in a perfect spot to go cheer for him. He miss him. Howie Meeker was 97. Trebek was 80. Yesterday was a rough one.
I'll be fine. He'll be okay. He'll be all right.
It sucks because it was so cool. I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do. Some people say they're going to have Ken Jennings. I'm like, okay, can we just take a pause? I feel like after this round of recordings are through, I think it should become a best of. Like, Trebek's best. And I'm talking.
Well, that's what they're going to do.
I would hope so.
Well, that's what they always do. Whenever it comes to
let's put it this way, Alex,
a character on any show, even on a sitcom show, if one of the Friends cast died, right, what would they do on TV? They would have Friends marathons, just like how Golden Girls have.
And on what were we watching BBC America last weekend? It was all the Sean Connery James Bond movies.
Right. That's what the media / entertainment industry does. They pay homage through showing the best work.
I will say this. Had we not had a show tonight, we'd be probably watching Jeopardy tonight.
I wouldn't be.
Well, I know you don't. Yeah. I'll be honest. I've gotten pretty good over the years. Because when I started dating Kelly, we started watching a lot.
I never really liked game shows.
Because you'd get, okay. Jeopardy is different from all the other ones. The other ones there's a lot of luck involved. You have to answer a question every so often, like Wheel of Fortune, for example. You can kind of figure things out. Jeopardy is a massively popular trivia show.
Well, sure, but I still thought it was boring.
Well, okay,
it's still boring. There's no.
If you don't try to participate, if you try to learn stuff, it's hard. But if you try to participate, it can get kind of fun.
Well, even if you try to I can watch it for 10 minutes.
Well, just gotta watch one half hour.
But think for me, from my generational standpoint, why would I go through 5 minutes of commercial just to see whether or not I got the right answer? By the way, the answer was Mesopotamia.
Which one? No. Which one's 5 minutes? What are you talking about?
A commercial break. Why would I go through commercial break just?
They don't do that. Not at least.
Yes, they do.
Not anymore. At least I don't think so.
That's on TV. The TV has commercials.
Yeah, they have commercials, but they go in between rounds and stuff.
You
know what? You're coming over tomorrow night. We're gonna watch Jeopardy.
I'm not.
We're watching Jeopardy
tomorrow night because I have practice.
You got pracky?
Yeah.
Are you still on the skates? Are you still going out there trying to show your stuff?
Yeah, I'm on the skates.
Getting better.
That's what I do. What do you mean getting better?
I want.
I've never been bad. I
said getting better. I never. Okay.
You know what? Shush. We're getting back to actual hockey news. So QMJHL has decided to move 7 teams into a bubble in Quebec City. This is going to be from November 17th to the 27th at the Videotron Center. This is coming from thescore.com is the article that we are using as our source. Sean O'Leary from The Score.
Is that 2 weeks in a row we used The Score?
Yes.
We used it last week.
The teams that are going to be involved in this are going to be the Gatineau Olympique, Drummondville Voltigeurs, Blaine Boisville Armada, Victoriaville Tigers, Shawinigan Cataracts. I said that right?
Cataracts. Yep, you got it. You're good.
Chicoutimi, Saganines? Sauganans?
I say Sauganines.
That one's a rough one. And the Quebec Remparts, they are going to be there, like we said, November 17th to the 27th. Each team will play 6 regular season games. This is just as recommendations from the Quebec public health officials have gone to the league. Obviously, they've been in a lot of communication with the daily increase of COVID-19 cases in Quebec being reported the highest ever on Sunday with 1,397 daily. This is going to be definitely a big thing that we're going to be seeing probably, I would say for most Canadian leagues, honestly, because I don't think that.
Well, because
I think this is a good thing for the Quebec.
Because here's the thing,
Major Junior Hockey League, purely on the basis that you're dealing with what you can. The whole reason why the NHL was allowed to play in Canada and have 2 bubble cities set up was because they were in bubbles and they had this strategy played out. And I'm sure that this is exactly what the Quebec League has decided to go forward with and using the same sort of model.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I think this may be something that we could possibly see with the Western and Ontario Hockey League because if
they're gonna have to
if you think about it, if you want to have hitting in the game, if that's what the Ontario Premier wants, then you're probably gonna have to set up a bubble because that's just how it's gonna be, and it's gonna be dealing with not only the Ontario government, but you're gonna have to be dealing with Health Canada, and that's just a whole thing.
Yeah, and I understand that where you're coming from. This is because the Quebec League was going to be the first league to start, and then half the league had COVID cases, COVID tracing throughout, and
Armada being a big one.
I don't think Rimouski was, but the Maritimes were the only teams that were kept continuing to play because the Maritimes they're in such small towns and they're able to kind of space themselves out. And there's who's alarm? That's not my car going off, is it? Nope, not my car.
Is it my car?
I just heard an alarm going off outside, and I'm like, what in the world's going on out there? But I like it because you're able to control it. The fact that it's only a 10-day stretch makes me kind of think why. Well, what would be the point? Because hold on.
Okay.
Let me go on my stream of consciousness here. It may take me 15 minutes, but I'll get there. I like the fact that they're trying to control it, but if you're going to do this, why not make it a month? Because we're going to get to college hockey here in a second. But in regards to that, the NCHC is doing the month of December, Alex. 3 weeks inside a bubble in Omaha. So why not just go for the month for that division? The entire Quebec Major Junior Hockey League doesn't have as much emphasis on divisions, at least in terms of points and standings. It's more or less for game scheduling for less travel.
I think that it's gonna be coming down to probably 2 things:
money.
Financials being one of them.
Money being a big one.
And also thinking about the off-ice relations. So that's going to be billet families. That's going to be these players' educations. Because, as they are, on the younger side, they're still schooling, doing all that good stuff.
And that's what we talked about with Tate about the OHL.
And I think that's probably the reason why it's only 10 days. But I do think that, especially when you're looking at your bubble being in a place like Quebec City, it's a big hub, or it's a big city. It's not like it's not a Toronto, it's not a Montreal, anything like that.
Quebec City is the second largest in the province of Quebec, obviously second to Montreal.
Right. So it
should have an NHL team, but
it is a metropolis kind of area.
Metropolitan
area.
There you go. But Metropolis is the city where Clark Kent lives. And that other guy, that flying dude.
Oh, shut up!
It's a plane. It's Clark without his glasses.
But to answer your question, why they'd probably do this is because it's something that it's been done before.
Well, I don't have a problem with why, but why so short? Why not?
Because probably, like I said, it's probably financials, probably off-ice stuff. And think about it. I mean, the Major League Lacrosse did this. The Premier Lacrosse League did this. And, a couple other, smaller leagues, they decided to do where they just made their regular season into just about a week. I mean, 10 days gives you 2 weekends plus a full week of hockey. Probably with I'm gonna say that the schedule is probably gonna have at least 3 games a day, with one in the morning, one towards the early afternoon, and one into the evening.
Yep.
Depending on how many rink surfaces they have, if they're only if they're only using the one rink surface, then it's going to be obviously something that they have to
Well, I don't think it's that
have
big.
the game, sanitize, have another game, sanitize, have another game, sanitize.
That's why Quebec is nice, because that rink is built to house an NHL team. They built that rink with aspirations of bringing a team back to Quebec City. So that's why they have the facilities, they have the resources, and they're going to, in terms of scheduling, like you said, sanitation, cleaning the rink, cleaning the arena, how they're going to allow people in, they're going to look at it just like the National Hockey League did. So that's why they're doing it there. I wonder if they're going to look at doing this in other parts, if for other teams and other arenas, for parts of Quebec and maybe the Maritimes. Obviously, we haven't had, knock on wood, too many problems there.
Well, we'll see what happens. Because if this is their entire regular season, that's one thing.
But it's just for they're probably going to test it and see how it goes. Let them back out, and then if it has a problem again, well, then they'll obviously cross that bridge when they get there.
Yeah, I mean, worst comes to worst, they do these 10 days of competition, and then they go out, do their own thing,
I'm sure
however they handle it, and then maybe possibly have everybody come back.
I would like to think the league...
Because think about it. WHL comes on January 8th. OHL starts February 4th.
Targeted. These are all targeted dates.
Yes, targeted.
Yes.
They're supposed to. If everything goes to plan, they're supposed to come back on these
2020
dates.
has gone so well to plan, Alex.
Sure. Hey, 2021, it's looking up.
2021 is still 2 months away. Less than 2 months, but still.
Less than 2 months away, and we're praying for it.
Pray that we get there.
But yeah, I mean, and if they decide that they can play at their own arenas and their own facilities and stuff like that, then great. They can travel. They can do all that kind of stuff. And each team has 6 games that they don't have to worry about. 6 less games that they have to worry about. But
yes,
we'll see how that goes next.
Now I wonder, and like I said, I'm hoping the league is thinking, all right, guys, if it happens again, say January, we have another breakout. February, we have another breakout. I'm hoping that they're planning, like, all right, here's how we're going to do it. And I'm sure, well, if they figure out a plan, they'll start talking to the other teams like, all right, guys, just in case, here's what may happen. This is, if we hit DEFCON 1, I'm thinking Santa Claus already, man. It's a problem. If we get to DEFCON 1, this is what's going to have to happen. So hopefully they don't get to that point, but that may be the case.
Right. So next thing we were going to be talking about is the return of college hockey.
Yeah. This weekend. This is exciting because I write college hockey now, so I kind of have to be excited for it.
Do you write for the College Hockey Network?
No,
College
the
Hockey News?
No. I'll let Adam and Wodan and Mike McMahon figure that out. I do my stuff for the Hockey Writer still. Remember, I was going to go to the Frozen Four last year, and then COVID decided to give it a swift kick in the nuts with that plan. But I'm excited because, I mean, not every league is starting up. As of right now, it's just the Big Ten and Atlantic Hockey, I think, or at least Atlantic Hockey.
As far as Division I.
Division I, yes. Obviously, there's some ACH. Gosh, Liberty, dude.
Atlantic Hockey really needs to update their frickin' logo. That's gross.
Well, hold on here.
That looks straight out of the early 2000s.
Well, I have to go full screen on this now to figure out. This is last year's season. Where in the world is... All right, schedule. Current schedule. Because they're supposed to be starting this weekend. That was last season. We want this season. Why can't I go? They have not updated.
They probably haven't done it yet.
They probably haven't put it. Okay, they probably haven't put a schedule up yet. That makes sense because the start date could have been this weekend. I remember reporting that, and so. But if they don't want to start now, that's totally fine. Let's just hit this here. Let's see if they have anything. No, nothing. So, but that's okay. Obviously, the Atlantic Hockey was able to figure out, say, hey, you guys can play if you want. However, Alex, we have learned as of today, there are a couple of schools that may not return to play.
Right.
Actually, there may not be, but we have one for sure, according to our good friend. Who is that? Was that
collegehockeynews.com.
Staff report? Okay, it's probably Adam Wodan that wrote that.
Right.
Go ahead, Alex. Yes.
With that being said, RIT University, the Tigers, have shut down. By the way, what does RIT stand for?
I think it's Rhode Island Tech.
Rhode Island Tech. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
You know what's funny? I've covered college hockey for a long time, Alex, and let's see. RIT stands for Rochester Institute of Technology.
There we go.
So not even close.
Hey,
I just know
at least we're being good at this. At least we're
At least we're accepting because I remember RIT was in the Frozen Four back when it came to Detroit and back in 2010, and I'm like, oh, cool, RIT, yeah, they're Rhode Island, sure. RPI, they're Rhode Island, right? No.
I mean, hey,
New York.
I mean, hey, at least RIT has a better acronym than Calumet University of Michigan. Have you seen that merch?
Nope, I'm not looking at that.
It's funny.
Well, yeah, it's like University of Northern Texas, but they're coffee mugs. You got it?
Yes,
because it's
just go on with it. But no, RIT has decided to cancel their 2020-21 season due to ongoing health and safety concerns related to the COVID-19 pandemic. End quote. That is a statement from RIT. Obviously, the university itself. The Tigers are a part of the Division III conference, the Liberty League,
which has other teams in it, Alex, that are Division I hockey teams.
And they've decided to cancel winter sports because of the pandemic. RIT has chosen to include its men's and women's hockey programs in that decision. So that's something to report on, I guess.
Yes, the Liberty League is interesting because
Tell me why. Why should we be concerned about Division III hockey?
Because there are 4 schools that play in that league. Or at least that are Division I hockey programs. There's like Ithaca College and a couple others. But there is Union College, St. Lawrence University. Union is Hockey East, ECAC St. Lawrence, RIT, Atlantic Hockey, RPI, ECAC, and Clarkson, right? Clarkson. Yes. So actually 5? 1, 2, 3, 4,
you
5. Yes, 5. 4, no, sorry, 5, because the 4 others are going to go on as played. And that was thanks to our good friend at College Hockey News, Mike McMahon. Mike McMahon posting that today across the Twitters and all their social medias. So, and because like with a lot of sports, Alex, and this is kind of with the one thing with NCAA that I don't like, the fact that the NCAA is not telling what conferences they're saying, hey, everyone do their own darn thing. Liberty League is not allowing winter sports. RIT is going to follow suit, even though the hockey team, since it's not directly affiliated with the Liberty League action, their hockey team, they could have gone on. That's why you're seeing St. Lawrence, RPI, Clarkson, and Union all play because they want to play and they can play because so far Hockey East is pushing to play. Hockey East, ECAC, and obviously Atlantic Hockey. If one of those leagues drop out, then yes, then the other schools, the coinciding schools have to fault. They have to, disavow. They have to not play.
Yeah.
As like I said, as far as we know, Atlantic Hockey's not posted a schedule yet, even though it's going to be a big part because Long Island University is going to play with them this year. Hockey East and ECAC have said the same thing, but Hockey East said I think it was going to be this week they're going to release their schedule. So because they had a big promo video last week, it was a really cool production. So they are going to release it sometime by the end of this week. So by next Monday's show, we'll talk about it, which is kind of funny because next week we got my interview with Mitch O'Keefe, who used to play at Ferris State. It doesn't have to do with Hockey East, but it's college hockey. So
fair enough.
There was my connection with that. So
continuing with college hockey, the NCHC has released their schedule. Tyler, you are the resident college hockey guy, as
really, I haven't said that yet.
Babbling on for the past, 10 minutes or so.
Haven't said that yet this show, Alex.
What news should we pick up from this?
Well, I believe I reported on it a few weeks ago, but it's official. The NCHC will be in a bubble starting December 1st for 3 weeks. Each team will be playing in 10 games. They'll be playing there because they're splitting the league into 2 divisions, an East and a West division. They're playing all of their interdivisional games starting next week. Oh, I didn't get in the snapshot. Oh, darn. Alex tried to take a snapshot.
Snapchat.
You're doing the posting other stuff. I'm only the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook guy. I don't do that. I don't do the Snapchat or the TikTok.
I do fan interaction. That's what I do.
Fan interaction? Yes, with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's our one member.
What am I going to do while you talk about college hockey, dude?
Listen and pay attention. No, so they're going to play each of the other 5 divisional teams twice. I think 4 times. They play their 4 teams twice. That's why you get the 8 games, and you play 2 of your divisional games, whoever that may be, play them twice in that bubble in Omaha Baxter Arena. They already have the paint all laid out. Looks really nice. Got that nice paper white look to it, Alex. It looks pretty. Looks fresh. Because, of course, they got the NCHU logo in the middle because you can't just have Omaha on it because that'd be unfair and, it'd be favoritism towards the home team in Nebraska, Omaha, even though
it would be.
I mean, Omaha's a nice barn, but Omaha has never been not a daunting arena to go into. It ain't no Mariucci. Well, pardon me. When Minnesota was good, Mariucci Arena. It's not Ralph Engelson in North Dakota. I'm trying to think of another hostile barn. Houghton, Michigan. No matter how bad the Huskies are, according to Harrison Watt, it's a terrifying rink to go into if you're the road team.
Houghton.
No, you're not going to start saying it every different way.
It's Houghton.
It's Houghton.
Houghton. I've heard Houghton.
I'm going to ask Harrison. Harrison will be on in about 20-some-odd minutes with our trivia battle of the century. What?
Fine.
No.
Fine. Is a four-letter word that starts with F. You know what else is a four-letter word that starts with F?
Fool.
And free and something I can't say here.
Another word you can't say because you want to know why? FCC won't approve.
True.
NCHC going to be back in action, so they're going to play 3 weeks, go back home for Christmas break. I mean, well, obviously some players may just stay on campus because we have over here at Grand Valley, they're asking kids, hey, if you're going to go home for Thanksgiving, be safe. That's what they're doing over here, at least for Grand Valley State. At least that's what was made public to moi. But NCHC, after the new year, when they come back for second semester, they will start playing their traveling schedule against teams in their region. So Western will stay, more to the east, like Western Michigan, but then you'll see like Colorado College and Denver. They'll stay out there in the west playing North Dakota, which means we get to see a lot of Denver versus North Dakota, Alex.
Great. I love it.
I wish you guys excited about this event. It's gonna.
I just
CBS
can't.
Sports Network. We have it. I mean, we have it for this month, which sucks.
You have it. I don't.
I know. We're gonna. We discussed it hard if we wanted to have live TV. What? Wife was yelling at me for some reason.
I don't know what she's yelling about.
I don't know what she's yelling either.
Anywho, back to the show. Let's talk about some players that have avoided arbitration.
So we got a lot of stuff listed just in case the show goes shorter than we expect today. So we may not get to the available free agents, but we're going to get to the signings that have happened that are official. Because I'm pretty sure.
We love it, Ty. We love arbitration. We love it.
We love it if they avoid arbitration. That's what we love, because that means we can actually say about their signings. We can't just say, these guys are greedy individuals. They're getting paid too much money.
The players that have avoided arbitration as of right now are as follows. Mackenzie Weegar, Florida, 3 years, $3.25 million. Brendan Lemieux, New York Rangers, 2 years, $1.55 million. Ryan Strome, New York Rangers, 2 years, $4.5 million. Ryan Pollock, New York Islanders, 2 years, $5 million. And Anthony Mantha, Detroit, 4 years, $5.7 million.
Ooh, we do have a fresh signing.
Dollars.
What?
Dollars.
Yes, dollars.
Dollars.
Speaking of signings, Alex, I'm going to add this one to your list. Rupe Hintz re-signs with the Dallas Stars, 3 years at $3.15 million, avoiding arbitration as well.
I'm not even going to try to spell that.
No, Rupe Hintz. It looks like Rupe, but it's Rupe Hintz. Him and Yoel Kiviranta had great playoffs. Rupe Hintz was I don't want to say an underrated guy.
Is it Hintz or Heinz?
Heinz.
You said Rupe Hintz for like
Rupe
5
Hintz.
times.
Rupe Hintz. I say Heinz. I don't know, because then again,
you say both, obviously.
Then how many times did I say? I used to say Heiskanen. It's Heiskanen, tomato, legacy, lagasse. Who knows how to say it? But anyways, Hintz. I'm going to say Hintz. I'm going to go with
Legacy.
Hintz. I'm going with Hintz now. Well, is it Manny or is it Maxime? Because Manny Legacy and Maxime Legasse. There's, minor different spellings. Hintz was, if you didn't watch the Dallas Stars, was a guy that you never really heard of. But
Me.
Yes, you. Even though they still have the best goal song in the league. Hands down.
Not really, but okay.
Hintz was a very effective playmaker. He wasn't a big-time scorer. I like the fact that he can move the puck around. He can create opportunities. He can play center. He can play the wing. He's a very versatile player. So I like this. I like Dallas keeping him around. I'm pretty sure that was one of Jim Nill's things, but obviously Hintz thought he deserved more money. The Dallas Stars didn't want to give him that money, so they were going to go to arbitration, but they met towards the middle, and for a salary cap, especially during a flat cap era, Alex, that we are involved in, it's a good move by Nill and the Stars. Now, Mackenzie Weegar, he's a good depth player that Florida's going to want to keep around, a guy that can play center and a guy that can play wing. Pardon me, he's a defenseman. I was looking at Lemieux. Mackenzie Weegar's a solid defenseman. Yeah, I see. Hey, Don't forget Nate Robertson. Nick Robertson. He's a defenseman.
Nate Robertson.
No, is it Nick or Nate? No,
it's Nick.
No,
it's Nick.
Nick. But there is a Nate though too.
It's Nick.
But there's a Nate.
It's Nick. The one you're talking about is
and
Nick.
There's a Jason Robertson. There's a Nick Robertson. There's a Nate Robertson. Mackenzie Weegar is a defenseman.
There's also Nathan Robinson.
Long time ago that was. He's a guy that doesn't put up a whole lot of points. I like to think he's still pretty young. He's only played, at least in full 3 parts, or the last 3 seasons he's been a full-time NHLer. Only played 60 games a couple years ago, or in 17-18, 64. In 18-19 last year, only 45 games. He seems like he always gets a little banged up every so often. So I'd like to think he can play some bigger minutes if he continues to progress. He's better, according to what I've heard from Florida fans. He plays better in his own zone. Brendan Lemieux, because I believe he's Claude's kid, right? Claude's kid, Brendan Lemieux?
I believe so.
I
don't like him.
I'm interested to see. I just want to know what the Dallas Stars are going to be next year. Or the Dallas Stars. The New York Rangers are going to be next year.
Dude, what are you even talking about?
My words are getting mixed up. So many teams right now. 2 years, 1.55, not a huge cap hit. A guy that, they expect to put up more points. This was only his second full season in the league last year with the Jets and Rangers, because remember, he was involved in the trade in 18-19 that sent Trouba. No, wasn't Trouba. What deal was that sent him to New York? Regardless, he got traded to New York last year, and he had 18 points, and then he had 19 points. No, 17, 18. I can't read right now, guys. I'm trying to do this on like a half screen.
I don't think you can think.
I have so many tabs up right now. It's ridiculous.
You have 4.
I have 4 here, and then I have the other ones, which the stream's on right now. He was traded from. I just want to see this trade. Who was he traded for? Oh, that was the Kevin Hayes trade. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And that's when Kevin Hayes got sent to Philly after year. Okay, following that one. I'm trying to look at the other ones here. Ryan Strome, just another addition. Ryan Pulock. Ryan Pulock he was a guy that I really saw really blossom in the playoffs. Where he at? Oh, I keep looking at your screen. I know. I'm so used to doing when we do these Google things, Alex, that I usually don't use anything on my laptop, but I've finally figured out a way to do that. But I like Pulock because you really saw him really step up and play big minutes. And that would have been something nice if we had more time with Chris King last week, which is a gosh darn shame we didn't have him for 2 hours, because that would have been fun.
True.
He was a guy that just continued to really show that he can be a top 4 defenseman in this league. And getting paid $5 million, Alex, he's going to have to do it. And as of right now, they didn't re-sign Andy Green yet. They're obviously going to say he's aged out, so he's a guy that's not going to come back. He's a guy that plays on the right side, got the right-handed shot, Alex. We know how overvalued those guys can be. But obviously a guy that showed last year in that playoff run to the conference finals that he can be a very viable asset, a guy that can put up numbers offensively but also be reliable in his own zone. He's still pretty young, too.
Well, one thing you have to make sure to look at is, obviously if you watch the games, you can tell that this is a player that really depends on the players that are around him. So you're going to have to make sure that he has a solid pairing partner, whether he's first or second line. Defense, if you have him on special teams, that you have him, obviously playing a substantial role. And it's going to come down to who he's with. He's one of those players that he's in that kind of middle ground where he's a solid player, but you can't depend on him solely. You can't depend on him as like being your top defenseman, which thankfully in his case, he isn't really being put in that role right now. But with a 2-year deal, I can see maybe if the Islanders decide to not go with him, he might have problems elsewhere.
37 points in 18-19, 35 this past year. He was going to eclipse that number, Alex. He had 10 points in his 22 playoff games. And we did talk briefly about the D-core with Chris King last week. They still have Johnny Boychuk, who plays on the right side. You still have getting older Nick Leddy, but he can still play. And now you have Pulock, who can play your second pair right side. Thomas Hickey's still there, good veteran presence. Adam Pelech has got one more year before his contract is up. Obviously you're hoping Scott Mayfield can really step up. And by golly, if Noah Dobson can't figure it out this year, he's a lost cause. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of question marks.
Get there.
Around. Well, there's a lot of question marks I think about around the Islanders right now. It's just about a matter of
can they continue to do this?
Right.
Can they continue to be a defensive stalwart now with 2 goaltenders? One is arguably one of the best goaltenders not in the NHL, and Semyon Varlamov. Obviously Ilya Sorokin is the guy we were talking about. Like I said, next time with Chris King, I'm telling everyone, I'm talking Rando, starting late tonight, buddy. We got Chris King on. He's coming on at 8. We got an hour with him.
Or we could just do an entire show with just him.
Well, I don't know if he could. I'll tell him next time. I'll tell him, listen here, Chris, 6 o'clock. Be there, be square. I would never do that to Chris.
Or just please get there whenever you can.
Hey, Chris, the earlier the better because we got a lot of questions. Roberto Luongo, remember him?
Yeah. Let's talk about Anthony Mantha real quick and what he means to Detroit before we get into anything else.
He's arguably their best player. I don't see anyone like everyone looks at Larkin, and yes, Larkin may be your captain, but the way Mantha has progressed, and I'm not saying Larkin has tailed off and he's already plateaued and his career is just going to stay flat forever, but the way Mantha's been able to climb and continue to be the best player, it seems like almost every night, from what I've seen of the Red Wings, I enjoy the fact that he has the opportunity. He's not hit his peak yet, I don't think, Alex. Because how old is he?
He is 26 years old.
26
He's 2 years older than Larkin.
What's his so he's 5.7.
He's 5.7 for 4
years.
Yep, and then he's UFA in 2024, 25. He is one of the best players. He is top 2 forwards for the team.
And here's the thing too, Alex. I think people should really consider if the Yzer plan, as Harrison Watt calls it.
The Yzer plan.
Listen, apparently it's like, hey, it's the Shannon plan in Toronto, so it's got to be the Yzer plan. No, it doesn't rhyme. Just stop.
Well, also, Yzerman's the general manager, not the president, but okay.
Listen, Shanny was going to tear that whole thing apart would come hell or high water. And, hey, Lou, you're pretty good still, Lou. Hey, remember me? You drafted me a while back.
Shut up.
Come work for me. No. Anyways, I like to think that Yzerman has the goal set in mind to, by that point, by 2024, the summer of 2024, the Red Wings are competitive enough to start pushing towards playoff contender. Or even in a couple years, because especially at that point too, Alex, the league is hoping by 2024 that the money starts to come back up after the cuts they've been having to make due to the pandemic. So Mantha's like, all right, 4 years, 5.7, not too bad. If he can continue to progress, he may be a 7, 8, possibly if he continues to progress, $9 million hockey player.
Right. Well, I mean, you also have to think
I'm not saying this is a bridge deal, folks. This is a very long bridge deal.
No, this is a deal.
Ambassador Bridge. No.
The reason why Yzerman made this deal, and I honest to God think this is because it's a transition contract.
Yes.
I really think it is because, yes, it's a 4-year deal, but 3 of those 4 years are going to be creating some sort of relationship / connection to the people that are going to be filling in some spots within the organization, because the list of UFAs and RFAs for, after this season, Darren Helm, Tyler Bertuzzi, Valtteri Filppula, you have Fabry for 2 more years, you have Nemestikov for 2 more years, but Glendening, Bobby Ryan's up after next year. Obviously, he was just signed. Adam Ernie, he's an RFA, so you're going to have to either pay him or you have to give him up. Zadina has a year after next, but Sam Gagne is another.
Of his ELC?
Of his ELC, yep. So he has next year and the year after, then he's an RFA.
Stevie Yzerman.
But he is actually, fun fact, he's on a COVID loan right now.
Oh, yeah, because Zadina, Sider, those guys are all, because I know.
Roenick is another.
Zadina is playing in the Czech league. I forgot what league Roenick's playing in right now.
I think he's in the Swiss.
Oh, but yeah, a lot of those guys, because, they want.
But that's just forwards. I mean, Mark Stahl, you have, obviously, but you just picked him up. Nemeth is another one. Merrill, Biega, and then Roenick is going to have his ELC.
Is Roenick or Ronick? Because I've heard
Roenick.
Both. I mean, you go to Griffin's games, and I'm like, I fill up Ronick. I'm like, you sure?
I'm saying it's Roenick.
I'm busy yelling at Hickett, so I never hear the right pronunciation. If Zane says the right name, I don't hear it.
It's Hronik.
Hronik?
Hronik. Yeah,
Hronik?
It's Hronik.
Are you sure it's not Roenick?
No, it's Hronik because me and Katie went to
Philip.
two
Say
Detroit.
Philip. Say Roenick. Roenick. Say Philip Roenick. Philip Hronik.
Philip Hronek.
Put so much emphasis on the H.
Me and Katie went to 2 Red Wings games last year, so within the past year.
Hronek wasn't when we went to go see Anaheim.
Yes, he was.
He was not in the lineup.
He was on the roster. I swear.
He was clearly not there.
Hronek.
He was clearly just not capable. He was.
Oh, by the way, Bernier
is a non-factor. Well, yeah, they got Bernier.
Hey, the IR. Zetterberg comes off it next year. Woo!
Hey, Alex, LTIR. Don't forget LTIR.
Yeah.
You're allowed up to 2 players of LTIR. Aaron Zetterberg is that. I believe
that what?
I'm trying to see if they. Okay, so Johan Franz is off the books because he was on, I think, this past season.
This was the last year.
So.
Oh, by the way, don't even get me started with all the players that
Alex,
the Red Wings have. Well, those are all Grand Rapids.
Yeah, but typically, Alex, with minor leaguers,
Svechnikov. Oh gosh,
Evgeny Svechnikov.
Still a good Svechnikov.
He's not
still a good one.
He's not the best Svechnikov.
He's not.
Speaking of which, Alex, did you see this?
What is with Carolina having the best of like the 2 mismatch names? Like they have the good Sebastian Aho and the good Svechnikov.
Well, Svechnikov are Evgeny and Andre are brothers.
Well, yes,
Evgeny's the elder one, but Andre's the better one.
It's the same. It's the same thing with like Detroit and / Grand Rapids having the best Filppula at the time because they had Valtteri.
Valtteri's with Detroit and then Hillary.
Hillary? Little Flipper.
We'll call it Little Flipper. I think it was Hillary or Lillari.
Brother in
Grand Rapids.
It was Jari Filppula.
No, it was Illari. It was I-L.
It was Jari.
Jari, whatever.
Jari.
It was that other Filppula. No, now you lost my train of thought. I was going to say that. Oh, I was talking about Grand Rapids. I would like to now. Nope, I lost it. Svechnikov. Oh, no. Svechnikov. Because I saw this the other day. Because remember how in the new NHL 21, they allow you to do the Michigan goal, right?
No, I don't, but continue.
Well, you don't have it. But you can do the move behind the net, wrap it up, and try to tuck it up the corner, right?
Okay.
So the guy that first did it, the guy that did it most famously first, 96 during the NCAA tournament, Mike Legg.
Svechnikov.
Mike Legg.
Svechnikov.
You're wrong. Mike Legg does it for the Wolverines. I saw the video today, I don't know if it's just a recent release, Mike Legg is now a playable character in NHL 21. So
Why?
So my Hut team, if I ever do a dumb Hut team, Alex, guess what? I will pay stupid amounts of money to find Mike Legg's card to put him on my team.
Why?
Because he's an 80. Why?
Why is he on the team? Why is he in the game?
Because they're paying homage to a guy that created a move that Andrei Svechnikov made popular recently, even though Mike Legg did it first.
It's called the Svechnikov now.
It is called the Michigan.
It's called the Svechnikov.
Alex, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I just want you to
go to any outlet.
And when someone
tries to do it, they call it the Svechnikov.
Alex, I can accept the fact if you're wrong. I can accept it.
You don't have to.
I can accept if you're wrong. All you have to do for me is admit that you are wrong.
You have to accept that your memories and all that kind of stuff that you think, like the past and paying homage to, is no longer relevant in this situation. It's called the Svechnikov.
Legg. Svechnikov said it's the Michigan.
It's called the Svechnikov.
Svechnikov said that's the Michigan goal. So Mike Legg will be.
Svechnikov.
He can say, like my buddy Mike found, he can say that he's been in a video game.
Hey, ask me this. Ask me a question right here. Ask me this question.
Alex, why are you wrong?
So I'm gonna say the question you're gonna ask, and then you're gonna ask it to me.
Okay.
Which player, Mike Legg or Svechnikov, Evgeny Svechnikov?
Yep.
Which one is in the NHL 21 promo video doing that move?
Austin Matthews.
You're supposed to ask that question.
Alex, why are you wrong?
Because I'm not, and it's the Svechnikov.
It's the Michigan, perfected by Andrei Svechnikov. It is literally you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. That's literally what it is.
Okay.
The Michigan goal by Andrei Svechnikov. That's okay. I can accept that dumb form of cologne that would definitely come out if this were the 90s.
The Svechnikov?
No, it'd be the Michigan by Svechnikov, like how there is Ocean Breeze by like that. That would be I'm trying to go with you're not following me here, Alex. I'm going on this tangent. Grab on or get out of the way.
I'm getting out of the way.
It's a ref. Okay, so long story short, it's the Michigan. Andrei Svechnikov's perfected it though, and Andrei Svechnikov says that is the Michigan goal. So therefore, Alex, it's the Michigan goal by Andrei Svechnikov. Okay? Holy cow!
I'm still calling it the Svechnikov.
Alex, like I said, I will accept if you're wrong as long as you admit it with me.
You don't have to
on
accept
three.
whether
Ready?
or not I'm wrong, because I'm not
say,
wrong.
I, Alex, am wrong. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
It's called the Svechnikov.
You're not doing this right.
I'm doing this perfectly right.
Oh, hey, look, Harrison's he's trying to join in as the okay. All right, so let's I'm gonna quick we gotta go to break.
Why don't we go to break here?
We should go to break. Everyone's looking at the screen right now. It's like, oh dear God, what's happening? It's dark.
They're also probably thinking, please God, move on. So we will move on to break. We will get everything set up for the trivia bottle of the century. We'll be back after this.
Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide. Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to The Keel Show here on 12 Ounce Sports on The Keel Show YouTube page if you are watching the replay or on your favorite pod catcher. It is now time for the Detroit Red Wings Trivia Battle of the Century.
Should I do
this? No, let me keep going here. This will determine officially who is the captain of the Five Timers Club. So for all of our guests who have been on the show for 5 times or more, they are part of the club. But this is to decide who is the captain.
Because since we have with us today 2 people, Alex, that are etching their names in the annals of history, we have 2 people that are joining the 9 Timers Club at the same time. Whoa. Everyone's like looking at the screen like, guys, you're off center now. Because I had to do some severiously editing thingamabob.
Severe.
I'm adding words to the Oxford Dictionary here. So I should get the first guy here. Allow me to get the first guy. I just want to make sure I got the
You want to get him?
Okay. He is from Birmingham, Michigan. He is living now right down, well, about 10 minutes from us now, Alex. Lives pretty close to us. He used to be a writer and editor for the premier publication from Ferris State, the Ferris State Torch. He is currently the play-by-play broadcaster for the Ferris State Bulldogs of the Western Collegiate Hockey Association, a firm believer in the Iser plan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Harrison. What? Harrison, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I got the Iser plan in the background here.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. We got our Gordie Howe banner here, too. I finally flipped that for Dad's sake, the Gordie Howe one there.
Well, absolutely. I mean, of the 2, he's probably the better one. Let's just
all right. We'll ask our other guests this question later, but Harrison, is it the Michigan goal or the Svechnikov?
It's the Michigan goal.
Thank you. Make it 2-1, Alex.
I can say this. I'm impartial because I'm not at all a Michigan fan.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I know. It's okay. Trust me, we saw your tweets during the Michigan State game. You were just sitting there like, this is fun to watch for all of us, and the rest of us were all like panicking and everything.
Fair enough.
Fair. Oh, she enjoyed it immensely. She had a nice Facebook video for everyone to watch.
That's okay. How is that lost to Iowa?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, it wasn't much better for Michigan against Saturday and against Indiana.
True. And I will take care of our other guest, a native of Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City.
The Detroit. I had to make sure of it. I did my research.
Detroit, Michigan. Detroit. Currently living in St. Clair Shores, a graduate of the University of Michigan. He was once forced to work with Mike Milbury during a Wings playoff game in 2011. He has been the play-by-play broadcaster for the Davenport University Panthers hockey for over a decade. He is a guy who does not believe that Jim Harbaugh could be replaced by PJ Fleck.
Oh, good Lord.
None other than Thomas Biondo.
Everything you said there is accurate. Everything you said there is very accurate.
Thomas, show us the shirt there. What you got there? Show us the shirt. Cronwald. Wait, verb to smash, level, demolish, destroy, devastate, imply reducing a thing to uselessness, to defeat completely. Where did you get that shirt?
Santa Claus.
Where?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus gave it. Wow.
What a very
Christmas present from my brother, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
That is a wonderful present. Now, before we get into the trivia battle of the century, we have to go over the rules for our guests. There is a total of 10 questions. Most points wins. If there is a tie, we will go into an overtime, which we'll get to that when we get to that.
I mean, I did some severe research for the overtime, so that one will be the stumper. That'll definitely separate the men from the boys, or the Wings fans of old to the current Wings fans, if there's any of them left.
That is true.
Yeah.
And how we will be doing this is we will be doing the question format is we will ask the question. Both guests will be able to answer each question. Whoever gets points on the question will obviously get points. Whoever does not answer correctly will not get any points. And we will do the alternating format where
Nope. They'll answer at the same time. They're answering. So they got the piece of. Everyone got their paper and markers, right?
oh, they are going to be doing it that way. Perfect.
Oh, he's even got. Did you steal that? Okay, Harrison, did you steal that from Bob Daniels?
The clipboard.
Yeah.
Comment.
No, it's yours. Okay.
No comment. No comment. So we will be doing it at the same time. Thank you for giving me that.
We will do. Should we give them a minute or 30 seconds? I think a minute.
Let's do 30 seconds. I think.
Well, I don't know. You guys, what do you guys think? 1 minute or 30 seconds for some of these?
My feeling is that if I don't know it in 30 seconds, another 30 seconds isn't going to get it.
No, you're just gonna get mad.
It's gonna be.
Maybe that's it.
I'll.
You just start getting furious at that.
How about this? We'll do 30 seconds, and for some of these that have a double answer, we will add another 30 seconds if someone gets the first part correct.
All right.
Now, question number 1.
Hold on. Wait. Scoreboard. We got a scoreboard. Yeah.
Yes, we do have a scoreboard.
Yeah.
To make sure that we're keeping track for all of the people watching at home. Question number 1 in the trivia battle of the century. The greatest goal of Steve Yzerman's career, arguably, was his double OT winner against St. Louis Blues, which a player played on.
Yes.
He had to get the puck first. Who was the player that Steve Yzerman took the puck from? 30 seconds on the clock.
I
got it.
You got 30 seconds? Okay. I'll start counting. Unless you guys have the answer first, in that case.
I think we both got it.
We both got it pretty quick.
Both got
All right, both got it.
And the answers, gentlemen? And I can't. There you go. Wayne Gretzky, yes.
Wayne Gretzky, both answer, and both are correct. 1 point apiece to both Thomas and Harrison for that one.
Yay.
Tyler, if you want to get that on the board for everyone at home.
We're having issues with the scoreboard already.
That's fine. They are at 1 apiece. I will keep track as of right now.
I'll just take this off for a minute until I figure it out. Oh, let me ask the second. Can I ask the second question?
It's not going to count.
What?
Oh, you want to ask the second question?
Yeah, so I'd like to ask the second question.
Sure.
So, the second question of the Detroit Red Wings trivia battle of the, today.
Century.
I'd like to say a century, but it's only 2020, and 2020 has been quite the decade, Alex. It has been. Chris Osgood ranks second all-time in wins in Detroit Red Wings history. Which goaltender is ahead of him? And there is a bonus point possible here. The bonus point is how many wins does Ozzy have as a Red Wing? And this, for the bonus point, it needs to be the exact number. So you guys may not get it.
30 seconds starts now.
Do. I didn't save the Jeopardy theme song for this. I didn't save it.
Did you?
I should have. I definitely should have, though. But let's let the gentleman ask. I can figure this out here.
You want to raise your...
Second part of that question was how many does he have?
Yes. That one is strictly, this one, for the bonus, you do need the exact number. When it comes to other numbers, whatever will be closest will be the correct answer. But for this one, you need to be spot on. I don't know. Oh, that's the dinger. Oh, I think we should do the minute, Alex.
Well, that is for the first one.
Okay.
So
we're gonna give him...
to answer question number 1, who is ahead of Chris Osgood in all-time wins for the Detroit Red Wings as a goaltender? Gentlemen, put your answers up.
Roger Crozier, Terry Sawchuk, Thomas Biondo takes the lead by a score of now 2-1. Got the scoreboard up now. The answer was yes, Terry Sawchuk, and Chris Osgood has 317 wins. Terry Sawchuk, I believe, had 370-ish. I didn't look up Terry's exact number.
Oh, wait, no, I put...
It was very
315.
close.
Roger Crozier, he, I believe, is 4th or 5th all time.
It felt like I was being tricked. I was like, it would be obvious it was Terry Sawchuk, but then I should...
No, we're throwing the easy ones in there first, just so that you guys aren't overwhelmed when we get to the... So
Talk myself to the Jimmy Howard.
Jimmy Howard, actually, I believe, Alex, if you quickly look it up here, if you search
Okay.
all-time Red Wings wins goaltenders, he should be 3rd. Detroit Red Wings wins as goaltenders. He should be 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, after I did my research. There you go, right there.
I mean,
away from the bonus point.
that was very impressive.
Jimmy Howard,
Jimmy
yes.
Howard is 3rd.
Jimmy Howard, well, that's games played, hit wins.
Oh, well, I thought you said...
Wait, how many did you say, Thomas, for Jimmy or for Ozzy for wins? You said 247, right? Yeah. Jimmy Howard has 246. So you were
not what I was thinking at all. That was a wild stab in the dark. So,
that was you're close. Let's see who's.
So I knew it wasn't quite close to the 400 number, but clearly I was too far away.
So behind him is Harry Lumley. Roger Crozier, Harrison, for your sake, sits 5th all time. And ready for this one, guys? Timmy Cheveldae in 6th with 128 wins. What an era that was. Bob Essensa trying to save the day for that team. Good Lord.
That was an era.
All right, the score after 2 is 2-1 in favor of Thomas.
Biondo.
Meow. Question number 3.
Number 3, my lord.
Also relating to goaltending, Mike Vernon won the Conn Smythe Trophy in 1997 during their Cup run, but his regular season was not so good. How many wins did Vernon have in the 1996-97 season?
This is
going to be a question where the closest one to the correct answer wins.
It's the point, yes. Unless it's a tie, then you both get it. So if you're both off by like 4, we'll be nice to you because I know I discussed this with Thomas before in the past. But
I know it was good. I remember this because I remember Ozzy started a lot of games that year.
I have to make sure, like, it's funny because I realize these guys are both on their laptops, but I'm like, these guys are these guys, we could see
They're being pretty integral.
I will say this: we're not going to do any crazy. Yeah, hands up. We're not going to do any conspiracy theories or research because there's enough lawsuits going on in this country right now. So we're going to avoid all that.
That is true.
It's only been fun if I get it wrong.
News radio, woo! It's fun. I get to know everything. Oh, time is up. All right,
Time is up.
What do we got?
Answers up, gentlemen.
14
for Thomas.
Harrison, move yours a little to your left. 17.
The correct answer is 13 wins.
So
Thomas gets another one there.
Thomas gets that point. He went 13, 11, and 4?
8.
13, 11, and 8. Of course, this is back when their ties were a thing.
That is true.
And do you guys know which game Mike Vernon picked up that 13th win against?
March 26, 97.
Yes, sir. That is right. Unfortunately,
Career win. I remember that.
was it 300? I think it was 300. That's right. So now I have to go. So we have a little bit of assistance for this fourth question.
Fourth question. Where are you then?
So make sure you guys sounds up because...
Hey, Ken Cal, radio play-by-play voice of the Detroit Red Wings here with a trivia question for you. What team did Sergei Fedorov score his final goal as a Detroit Red Wing against? Do you know the answer?
Hear that? What team did Sergei Fedorov score his final goal with as a Detroit Red Wing? I think this one can go for a minute, Alex.
Okay.
Turn me up, Alex. There we go. Drops the marker. Alex actually, because I didn't write the answer down because Ken Cowell was kind enough to answer it for us as well. And it's funny, like, he was like, I hope this one's not too easy. And I'm like, Ken, if it is, it isn't. But then again, Harrison also said Roger Crozier was the best Red Wings goaltender in history.
It depends on the parameters here because it could be regular season or postseason. And I know one of them, but I don't know the other.
True.
Okay, well, that's kind of where I went too with it.
All right, so before we show the answer, if we can just allow our good friend, Ken Cowell, to give it to us.
Okay, fans, here's the trivia answer. In April of 2003, Sergei Fedorov netted his final goal as a Detroit Red Wing against the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. Anaheim went on to sweep the Red Wings in that series, knocking Detroit out of the playoffs. The following season, Fedorov signed a contract to play for that same Anaheim team. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, they are both correct. The Anaheim Ducks, or the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim at that point, was the correct answer. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And thank you once again to play-by-play voice Ken Cowell. Do we count that as a guest appearance for him?
Yes, that's
We do?
2.
That's 2 for Ken Cowell. He is 2/5 of the way to the Five Timers Club. We're just going to start raking him in like the next 3 weeks now just to get him. But, so yes, Ken Cowell. Now, and I'm trying to remember this. It would be a great question. Who is his first goal with Anaheim? But actually, no, that's not a good one. His last goal in the NHL.
Last goal in the NHL, he played for. Didn't he play for?
Columbus or Washington?
Well, it was Washington. Now, who is it against, though?
Philly?
No.
For Pittsburgh.
I think they played Pittsburgh. No, it was the 09 playoffs. They played Pittsburgh, but he did not score in that series. He scored the game-winning goal in the series against the Rangers. It wasn't an overtime goal, but it was the most Sergei Fedorov goal, and I know Harrison loves him because 91 is his favorite number. It's the it's the typical Fedorov, streaking down the right wing side, head down, because he's not going to get hit, let's be honest. Cuts back hard to his forehand and just rips it glove side. You can hear the bar, not just in Washington, D.C., you could hear it up in New York. That's how much of a ping that was. The stuff that I know. The stuff that I unfortunately know. So,
the stuff that you know. So
after 4 rounds, Thomas is 4 for 4. Now, like we said, we gave him the number on the Mike Vernon one because I knew no one was going to get that one. I actually thought Mike Vernon went 13-13 that year. But I made sure I looked it up before I got my stats straight. So, I'll give you number 5, since technically 4 would have been mine.
True. Number 5 of the Russian 5.
See what I did there, Alex?
Yes, Tyler, I
Okay.
see what you did there.
See what I did
For
there?
question 5, you just chose to do Russian 5.
Yep.
Who of the Russian 5 is not in the Hall of Fame? 30 seconds on the clock.
I'd like to think this process of elimination, but I'll say, well, I'll get to my thing here after they answer the question. I don't want to distract them any more than I already am.
Fair enough, Tyler. I don't think anybody would want to be distracted by you.
Everyone they're watching this show. That is a distraction.
Now I don't know if I'm right.
You don't know if you're right?
10 seconds remaining for any final answers.
I think there were 2 that were real borderline.
Time is up. Gentlemen, put your answers up for everyone to see. Harrison puts up Vladimir Konstantinov. Thomas puts up Slava Kozlov. And the answer...
I
think we have to give it to both of them, Ty.
I also just realized that their audio may have been quiet.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I found out that it was picking up on here, but it was not picking up on the stream, so hopefully we fix it. Kevin Lau gave us that one.
But Tyler.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I think we have to give it to both of them.
We will give it to both of them because the answers are, yes, Slava Kozlov was one, and the other was Vladdy Konstantinov. So we'll give each of them a point for that one.
So you...
Wait, wasn't
Konstantinov because his career ended short.
Yes, and Slava Kozlov just because he didn't put up the same kind of points. Now, the thing is with the deal with, I think This is because mine are wrestler. Because Alex, the Four Horsemen, the Fabulous Freebirds, those guys are all the factions are in the Von Erichs. The factions are in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I think the gentlemen that work for the hockey writers, they should, or the pro writers, or whoever votes to vote the guys into the Hall of Fame, those guys should, for the exception, have an entire, a separate entry for the Russian Five. Because I think it's a crime that Vladdy's career got cut short, and Slava Kozlov was with them, but he was playing with Fedorov and Fetisov, guys that were already legend, and Larionov, guys that were Russians or legends before they even came to the NHL.
Question.
Thomas.
Question. Didn't
Yes.
you say name the one member of the Russian Five that isn't part? Wasn't the question name the one member of the Russian Five that was not part of the Hockey Hall of Fame?
There were two.
The question was who is not necessarily which one
I
player.
think Tyler read it incorrectly.
Okay, because I was like, well, it's got it. Okay, all right. I took it as there was only one. I didn't realize that there were two. Okay, all right. Fair enough. Very good. Very good.
We could have made
I
that.
mean, yeah, both of you got it correct either way. So you still got the point.
I was
So
thinking Kozlov probably didn't get there, but I knew Konstantinov got cut short, so I went with my insurance bet there.
right.
My
Well, I
Vladdy was that, but Vladdy might have gotten, I don't want to say a sympathy vote, but there might have been something along those lines.
Like an honorary, yeah.
yeah.
That's
Or a-
fair.
Well, here's the thing. I would agree with the fact that they should have a separate entry for the Russian Five. However, by that marker, they might as well have a separate induction for things like the Quebec Nordique, the Hartford Whalers,
It's not.
the Miracle Team, the 1980 USA Hockey Team.
Well, I know, you
Stuff
think,
like
you
that.
think a guy like Konstantinov would maybe be in the international wing because there's a lot of guys that are not in the Hockey Hall of Fame but are in the international wing in the Hall of Fame. There's
Well,
those guys.
I mean, but to the same token, was Konstantinov known for his international play versus what he did in the NHL?
He headbutted a couple guys during the punch up in Piastani. Does that count for anything?
Is that Hall of Fame worthy? I don't
The
know.
fight itself is Hall of Fame worthy. It's the greatest brawl in the history of brawls.
Tyler.
Which it can have a feature or an exhibit in the Hall of Fame, but it's not in the Hall of Fame. If you
Yeah, just have like
know what I mean.
just a little pint, like a little sample of blood. This came from Theron Fleury. Brendan Shanahan's fingernail that got ripped off. That should be in the Hall of Fame. That's
Okay.
right.
So moving on to question 6.
Me.
I'll do this one. You get the
Oh,
next one.
okay,
You get
fine.
the next one.
Okay.
All right. So question 6, staying on the theme of Hall of Fame. The question is, how many Hall of Famers were on the 2002 Stanley Cup team?
And once again, we're not going to ask for names, just the number and whoever's closest, because this one,
Currently in the Hall of Fame. Okay.
yes,
Currently in the Hall of Fame. Not who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
and I'm not counting. We're not counting Scotty Bowman. Let's put that out there now. No builders. These are just players.
players.
Just
correct.
players, yes. Because Scotty Bowman and Kenny Holland and those guys would be, and Mike Ilitch now. So there'd be 12.
Right.
There'd be
And I'm going to start
20?
the timer
No, I'm kidding. I
now
don't know the
because you
number.
talk a lot, Tyler.
I was just making sure I said 20 so they didn't think it was that high of a number. You think they will?
God, there's one I'm just not sure of. Oh.
Need new paper.
Here's your paper. Bob, he's ripping up your cart. He's ripping up your clipboard. I'm pretty sure, Harrison, if we told Bob he stole his clipboard for this, I'm pretty sure he'd be like, okay, for you at least. I don't know if I stole your clipboard, he'd probably get all mad.
He'd prank me. It would be brutal.
Bob Daniels, the prankster?
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Next time Harrison comes on, when he's a 10-time guest, we're going to get
Maybe.
story time with Harrison Watt.
Next
Oh,
time.
yeah.
But
We have
time is up. Gentlemen, if you'd like to put your numbers up, your guess.
8.
Both
Oh.
say 8.
So, do we give him both points for that? I mean, it doesn't really matter if we don't give them. They both cancel out.
Hold on now. Give me one thing here. Okay.
No. The overtime is at the end. If it's tied at the end of 10 rounds.
I got this.
Okay.
Both said 8. The correct answer is 9. Iserman, Robitaille, Fedorov, Larionov,
That's
Hasek,
better off.
Shanahan, Hull, Lidstrom, and Chelios.
How do you forget? He's your guy, Harrison.
I started counting, and I started counting. I was like, don't count Bowman. And I remember hearing 9 when I was a kid, and I didn't count Bowman, and then I forgot to count Fedorov.
There would be. I almost gave it away. There would be 12 if you included for everyone there, Mike Ilitch and Scotty Bowman and Kenny Holland. There'd be 12 because Holland, Ilitch, and Bowman are all the builders.
I think I forgot Brett Hall.
Probably.
Yeah,
he is kind of an obscure one a little bit. But since they both said 8, impromptu tiebreaker question.
Whoa. Coming in hot
to
here.
Decide who gets the point here. It's going to be kind of a gimme.
You're not doing those, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
It's kind of a gimme, but it's just to make sure that, they know their history and all that stuff.
If you both get it right, then it cancels out no matter what, okay? Alex, this is literally Alex impromptu. Alex is fixing this thing.
In the year of 97, I believe.
The year of 97.
There was a fight between the Colorado Avalanche
we got it, March 26th.
And the Detroit Red Wings, also known as the Brawl.
D-Day, Bloody Wednesday.
Now, the question is, in the quote-unquote Brawl sequence, what 2 players were involved in the first fisticuffs? What Colorado Avalanche player and Detroit Red Wings player were involved?
I know this because I can remember Dave Strader's voice. That's all. I hear Dave Strader whenever I think about that play.
I mean, as you should.
The late Dave Strader, rest in peace, Mr. Strader, because just the way and Mickey Redmond's like, yeah, that's how it used to be every night.
All right, no timer, but it looks like both are done. Gentlemen, put up your paper or boards. Larionov and Forsberg.
Yep.
Larionov and Forsberg. I think that is correct.
You think? You're the one that asked it.
No, it is correct.
It is correct, yes. So no one gets a point, but hey, everyone's smart because everyone knows how the fight went.
No, they both get a point.
And now
that's the reason why they get the thing.
The better question was, everyone knows how...
Give the men the point.
Give the men the points. Points.
Well, point each.
Well, the great question would be, Thomas, you got something?
Just real fast, I'm thinking about that 2002 team. They may end up with 10 because my guess is before it's all said and done, Pavel will end up in the Hockey Hall of Fame too.
Oh yeah, whenever he finally stops playing, yes, 100%.
I had to take it out when I was counting because I thought Dotsic. I was like, he's not done yet. And
yep.
I think that's why I forgot to count Fedorov because I took another one out.
Yeah.
They're going to have half that. Literally half the 20 are going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, because everyone's going to say, Steve Duchesne and Frederick Olesen.
Hey. Don't forget about Matthew Dandino.
Matthew Dandino. Red Wing. That guy he's one of the few. And, well, also,
one of the sleepers.
We're talking about how the Russian 5 should be inducted.
Sure.
The grind line. All 4 of them. McCarty, Kosher, Draper, and Maltby. Should those be the four horsemen?
Well,
of the
that's
Red
not
Wings,
a grind line.
They just rotated McCarty and Kosher in and out. Whoever they wanted that night. Whatever Scotty said. Hey, don't forget. People have to remember the sequence that led to the Darren McCarty goal, Alex. This is how good or important McCarty was that 97 team. It went Yzerman, Sandstrom to McCarty. He was on a line with a trade deadline pickup and the captain.
McCarty played the majority of that 97 run with those 2 because the initial grind line was Kosher.
With Kosher, yep.
Yeah.
That's why I always remember, because that's how good McCarty was. And then Kosher finally retired to the season in 99, or after the 98 season. And then that's when McCarty stuck with Draper and Maltby the rest of his time in Detroit.
Right, until obviously he
came back.
Even came back, it was basically those 3. They were still there.
Maltby on whatever's left of him, and Draper shaved beard and everything. It kind of scares me still.
Tyler, you will take the next question.
Next question. All right, where are we at here? I'm on the list here. Okay, this one, once again, another question that is the closest. Now, Harrison may have an advantage if he remembers the last time he was on the program, because we were talking about the 2002 playoffs and the points in those playoffs. Steve Yzerman finished second in playoff scoring in that year. Probably could have won the Conn Smythe, but Nicky Lidstrom deserved it as well. How many points did he have in those playoffs?
30 seconds on the clock.
Are we in round 7? Round 7 right now?
The 7th question, yes.
Okay. Because I'll say this is why I made sure we had a lot more, because this is going a lot faster, I think.
Second overall in playoff point scoring?
He finished second, yes.
Okay.
Yes, he finished second, right behind none other than Peter Forsberg.
And this was why Harris and I talked about this, because Peter Forsberg could have played another 7-game series in the finals. Had Colorado beaten Detroit, could have played 7 games, not registered a point, still been a point-per-game player. He had 27 points in 20 games. And he didn't even play in the regular season, Alex.
That is true.
Because he blew out his spleen in the playoffs the year before. All right, 30
Timer's
seconds
up.
up. The answer, gentlemen.
Ooh.
22. Thomas Biondo, 23 on the dot.
Yeah.
Just raking the lead. Look
Oh,
at
close.
6 goals and 17 assists for Steve Yzerman
would love
in
to-
the 2002 playoffs.
I'd love to know how many. Oh,
In
go
my
ahead.
head.
I'd love to know how many points he had in that Vancouver series alone. Because that's when he.
Seven. 7 before Game 6. I know. I don't remember any in Game 6.
He
And
saved that team. 100%
Oh.
saved that team.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and like I said, Nick Lidstrom was an absolute phenomenal player, and I think that was back when Alex, when the network didn't determine who won the Conn Smythe, they didn't pick the favorite, because Steve Yzerman could have easily won it again, but let's give it to Nicholas Lidstrom. He's played well. Let's give it to him. Yzerman's already won it. Not like nowadays, Alex. Who cares how good Phil Kessel was? Give it to Crosby again. I'm still a little salty about
I
that.
mean, Crosby is one of the best players.
But
in
Phil
hockey,
Kessel was on
so-
fire in those playoffs, the 2017 playoffs.
It's true.
I'm just
What
that's-
line did he play on though?
He was with
Did-
Malkin.
I thought it was Crosby in that play.
No, that was Brian Rust, and I think Kunitz was on that line with Crosby, because Crosby's the Kunitz when he scored the goal against Ottawa, who gave him the assist. Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Hey.
What school did Chris Kunitz go to?
Chris
Favorite
Kunitz.
staples?
Some weird one.
Some weird school up in Big Rapids. Oh, by the way, Harrison, I did an interview last week with Mitch O'Keefe. That'll be on next week's show at TKS. You're going to love this. Mitch O'Keefe did not know that his goalie mask when he was at Ferris is in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Did you tell him that?
I told him that. I finished the interview with that. He's like, and he was like, kind of, you could tell like through his voice, like he was kind of like turned rosy in the cheeks. So as of right now,
Well, yeah, the mask that he wore.
Mitch O'Keefe is the only, and of any Ferris State player, he's the only player that is in the Hall of Fame of any kind, of any in any capacity. Mitch O'Keefe. I don't know if he's the first. I'm sure something from Chris Kunitz from maybe the 2014 gold medal game or 2014 Olympics was in there. But as of right now, Mitch O'Keefe is the only Ferris State Bulldog in the Hall of Fame.
To have something in the Hall of Fame.
To have something in the Hall of Fame. His mask is pretty sick. iTech, Alex. Remember those iTech masks?
Yeah.
Those disgusting looking things? Yes.
Hey, you had one.
Thomas is over here and he's like, no, I had an iTech bag. Thomas is just lost. Thomas.
Yeah, I'm focusing. I'm trying to stay in the zone that I've got
he's-
going.
Thomas doesn't need
staying
to
in
worry about it, because
Detroit.
there's a lot of
Detroit.
there's a few
Detroit.
Michigan players that are actually in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, but
Anyways,
let's get
You.
back to the swing of things. Now,
now you're trying to figure out where we're at.
oh, I know exactly where we're at.
Okay.
The next question. How many playoff series did the Detroit Red Wings win?
Or no, how many
In-
did they play? How did I read? Oh, no. How many did they win? Okay.
Oh, you ask it then.
Poor writing by my part. In Scotty Bowman's tenure as a Detroit Red Wings head coach from the 93-94 to 2001-2002 season, how many playoff series did the Red Wings compete in?
Compete in or win?
Compete. So in total, my apologies on the win part, Alex.
Yeah, thanks. This is going to be another one, by the way, which is closest wins. God, you're awful at this.
His
Terrible.
first season was 1994, right?
I want a minute for this one because I got to do math.
Right.
Okay, we
So
can do it. We'll
His
we'll
first
do a
season was
minute.
the 93-94 season, correct?
Yes, 93-94, which would include the first round series.
Yeah, I'm going to need a minute here, too.
Okay.
See, this is one of those episodes that our podcast listeners should most certainly watch here on Total on Sports.
Or,
I think
yes.
Quick
All right.
little plug there.
Quick
I'll
plug
be with
here
it,
at 12. Here
I
at 12
think.
Sports. Yep. It's a little bit bigger of a number because
Okay.
obviously he won 3 cups in that time. All right. So.
Timer is up.
All right. So we have the timer up. You gentlemen ready to determine the quick math?
Yep.
Ready and flip.
Both say
25.
25.
5, 8. Hold on. Now I'm doing my math. 12, 16, 18, 20, 20. Oh, yeah. Yes. See, they are correct. My math was wrong. It is right. 25. You both get the point. Hey, see, that's why we did a double check. We made sure we had it, okay? I made sure. I double checked myself.
What's up, Thomas?
Who in '94 was that a first round loss to the Sharks?
That was that was San Jose. That was Larionov, Sandis Ozolinsh, Archers Urbe with those ugly pads that look like my old pads. Yeah. Back in the day. That team. It's funny because when we talked to Dan Ruzanowski a couple weeks ago, he's like when that team was there, it was crazy because it was only his 3rd year calling NHL games.
Sure.
So he was like just shocked that they were that good. But then he also made sure he talked about how, the one time when the Wings beat him in 2007 and also when S.J. Sharkey hung from the rafters ready to fall back in 2000.
That is true.
God.
Yeah.
He literally, and it's funny, like, because Dan was there and he's like, Dan honestly thought that they were going to actually let him cut himself and they had mats like just underneath them.
Well, talking about Scotty Bowman, I mean, he said, Scotty couldn't even look up at Sharky because he just couldn't look up. He just look like I can't watch this
because for everyone's sake, like, because Harrison, he works at Ava Glavin Ice Arena, not the biggest rink in NCAA. Sharky was above the roof. That's how high he was above the ice in San Jose at the old now the SAP Center, the HP Pavilion is what I think it used to be called then. Sheesh,
yes, it's quite a ways up there, but no, yes, 25 playoffs that were competed in. Thank you, Tyler.
Winning 3. I made sure I did my math twice. Shush. Figured it out.
Next question. Little sore subject for me because I really don't like this guy.
Oh,
Next question. Johan Franzen scored the game-winning goal in pivotal Game 5 of the first round in 2008. Who was the team Detroit was facing, and who was the goaltender for the opposing team?
2-pointer. Alex, put a minute on the clock for these guys.
Minute on the clock.
Because I think everyone remembers that round. I would think.
Yeah.
But the kicker is not Dicker the kicker for Texas. The kicker is who was the goaltender.
That is true.
That's why I like this one, because I was like, because I remember that goal because we were at Aunt Pat and Uncle Cliff's house. I was doing the Ferris State 3-on-3 tournament that weekend. We were up at Aunt Pat and Uncle Cliff's, and we watched it on CBC. I forgot who was calling it, though, for CBC. It wasn't Houston.
Cuthbert.
Yes, because Cuthbert at the time was still working for CBC. That was back when CBC could take TSN guys, and they didn't have that before Rogers monopolized playoff hockey coverage in Canada.
It was either Cuthbert or Strader, actually.
No, Strader was doing it for NBC at the time.
Okay.
Strader would have been doing the national games.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
15 seconds left on the clock.
Okay.
This is a big one here for Harrison. If Harrison can get both of these,
I'm not going to get both. I might not score him by 1, but I won't get him on both of these.
Yeah,
well, Thomas and I have gone back and forth on the 08 team in general, just because of how I said, I'm like, because I think Kenny Holland's a great GM. I always say for the non-cap era. That's what I just say about that.
All right, so gentlemen, put up your answers.
So Thomas doesn't yell at me.
Nashville and Dan Ellis, Nashville and Vokoun. The answer is Nashville, and the goaltender was none other than Dan Ellis.
Big 2 points for Harrison.
There were 2 very distinct eras of Nashville goaltending, and they're Tomas Vokoun and Pekka Rinne, and sandwiched right in the middle was little Dan Ellis for one.
What? No love for Mike Dunham?
No.
I knew Vokoun was too easy. I knew Vokoun was not going to be the answer, but I could not think of anything else, so I was going with the obvious.
Vokoun. It was a good guess. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, I'd probably say Vokoun.
had Vokoun left the year prior
to Florida. Yep.
Oh, that's when he did that. Okay.
He wasn't even on the team. I thought it might have been an injury or a pull. Vokoun wasn't even on that team, huh?
No. Oh gosh, who was the back? I don't even want to try to guess who the backup was. Probably like Michael Telkis or something like that. Some random guy that I've never heard of before.
Maybe, but
because I'm pretty sure Pecorino was still in Milwaukee at the time, back in those days.
That is true. But with the last question upon us, which is another 2-pointer, the score is 9-7. So
Thomas gets 1. It's over. Harrison gets both. Thomas gets 0. We go to overtime. I really want to go to overtime just for the sake of it.
Just for the sake of it.
But we need to determine a winner now. Thomas with the lead. This is crucial. This is big time here.
Shall I ask it, or do you want to ask the final question?
I'll ask the final question.
Okay, I'll leave it to you.
Big time here. Big time question. Very important question.
2-pointer, so it's going to be 1 minute on the clock. Full 60 seconds.
And Harrison, this is right up your alley because it involves your guy, Mr. Sergei Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov is one of 46 players to achieve the feat of scoring 5 goals in a single game when he achieved the feat back on December the 26th, Boxing Day of 1996 against the Washington Capitals. Once again, this is another 2-pointer. Another Red Wing had a big game himself, tallying 4 assists on all of Fedorov's goals. The game was 5-4. Detroit won, obviously. Who was that player who had the 4 points? The other part to the question is who was the goaltender for the Washington Capitals? Hint, it was not Olaf Kolzig. Who was the player with 4 assists? And who was the goaltender? And it was not Olaf Kolzig.
60 seconds on the clock.
Wait, what? Why are you doing Terminator? What? No, are we doing no? I see. I get it. Because the cover. Yeah, okay. The magazine that I have.
There's a clue with the Terminator song?
No, there's not a clue with the Terminator song. You're ruining it.
I can't think the goalie's first name.
If you get the last name, I'll give him the last name.
You have a very real chance here. You have a very real chance. I could be 0-2. I have 2 names, but I don't know if either of them are right.
There are 2 goalies in this era of the NHL that have a name that is 1 letter apart, and I can't remember if it was one or the other. And it's brilliant.
It's funny because both. Because you had Yzerman doing the goal in '96 against one of the goaltenders, and then you had Fedorov in the year of '96 against the other one. So because they're both different, that gave it away.
Time is.
But then again, you gave away one of the answers by your singing. All right, Fedorov.
I'm 0-2. I'm fairly certain I'm 0-2 then.
Fedorov, 5 goals, 4 assists for 1 player, and who was the goaltender? Had to suffer all of them. Oh, my goodness. Harrison Watt, Vladdy Konstantinov, and yes, it was Jim Carey.
Oh, no, but he got Jim Carey, so he wins.
And Thomas Biondo, with the clutch of the clutch, gets Jim Carey. Doesn't go 0-2. He gets the one he needs, and in a dramatic 10-9 victory, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our winner, none other than Thomas Biondo. Woo! Give them the NHL 94 song there, or the high siren there. Thomas, the winner's circle is yours. Please, would you give us your victory speech?
I'd really like to thank God for whom all things are possible. And I've got to give a shout out to my opponent who really...
Hold on, I got to show this here.
Get that up there.
Harrison's suing for a recount.
I was going to say I would really like to give it up for my opponent who exhibited such grace and handled the game very well. But I guess I'll just kind of leave that alone and just leave it to God and family on that.
It's a time for healing and unity.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
We're all in this together, everyone.
Battle.
There's not one side or the other. There's just us and we. All of us together that took down this wonderful venture of the Detroit Red Wings Trivia Battle of the Century. Thomas, the victor. Thomas, you are, because we're going to give you both shirts, because you guys always talk about what do we get for being in this club. Well, you both will at least get a T-shirt for sure. The only difference is, Harrison, since you are the other member of the 9-Timers Club, the first, I believe actually, was he the first or second member of the 5-Timers Club?
Second member.
Second member. I'm pretty sure I had Thomas 5 times first. Harrison, you will be like Fedorov. You will get the letter A and the number 91. So you will be pretty much Fedorov, but with your last name. If that's okay. I'm pretty sure you'll be okay with that, right?
Good by me.
Good by you. I would love to ask you about the because I know you're obviously you actually have a personal connection with Steve Eisman, but we're not going to ask about that story because we don't have A, enough time, and B, I don't know if you can tell it here on the air. Thomas Biondo, what is your favorite number?
Honestly, it is number 19 for the captain.
And he will get the captaincy of the 5-Timers Club. Isn't this just wonderful?
I love it.
19 and 91. Congratulations to none other than Thomas Biondo.
Thomas, because, just giving him shirts would be too easy, Alex. We're going to give Thomas a $25 gift certificate to B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings, courtesy of them. Don't worry, Harrison, you'll get a $10 one if that's okay.
And I can't wait until 2021 when I can walk back into a B-Dubs.
Yay! Woohoo! Well, it's funny because where Harrison lives, the closest one to him is because he used to work right down the road from the B-Dubs down there up in Big Rapids. So I guess you can go there for lunch.
Yeah.
Thomas, you can go there whenever you want because $25 will get you one meal.
Yes, it
It'll
will.
get you a couple.
How few wings are you eating?
Depends.
You go on
buy
Tuesday,
one, get one day?
Thomas, what? What do you say?
You got to go on Tuesday, 50-cent wing night.
Oh, then you get
Or you could go buy one, get one Thursdays.
no
Yep.
no one's doing boneless here. No,
I do boneless. Come if
they
buy
are
one,
glorified chicken nuggets.
for buy one, get one, give me the chicken nuggets.
Wings.
Say that again, Harrison. Sorry.
You can revoke my man card, but I eat boneless wings.
Now hold
No.
on. You can save yourself here, Harrison. You can save yourself.
Hold on. Thomas, what'd you have to say?
I was just going to say, you like what you like. I don't eat the adult chicken nuggets, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Thomas, you didn't cry watching Rudy. Harrison, do you eat your boneless wings with a fork and a knife?
Yeah.
Oh, rip it. Rip it off. Get that A out of here. The A is ripped
You know
off.
what? I do have to say this, though. Between me and my opponent tonight, we have showed collectively more grace than is going on in our nation right now. And honestly,
That is true. We at least have a definitive answer the night of. But then again, I knew for a fact that we were going to have a decision. But
That is true.
champion.
and the fact, hey, let's be honest. Thomas, because this is not fabrication. I promise you, Harrison. Thomas was with us this weekend. We didn't discuss the Red Wings trivia battle at all. I just told him make sure he had a marker and paper.
Yep.
Thomas he had more confidence in Michigan State beating Iowa than he did getting a question right in this quiz. So,
Well, because here's the thing. Tyler has this memory with hockey stuff where
we're losing Thomas. No.
Oh, no.
Not now.
No.
What a face, though. What a face.
What a guy.
Harrison and I are still here. Thomas is Tom,
up ahead.
and Thomas is still there. Thomas, we missed you for that last little bit. You're talking about my memory and how I can apparently scare everyone with it.
I can speak.
Yes, I just thought
No, we're
in
starting.
my back. I don't know. I have my internet stinks. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking because it's just the internet will pretty much guarantee to go out at that point.
I love when he said he stops talking, and that's when it comes back.
Yeah, that's when it does come back.
Well, we were scared to death that this wasn't going to work at all because we have the Google Meet. I got my other tab open. We got Alex blowing up the Wi-Fi. Kelly's probably watching Friends for the 16th time out in the living room.
Blowing up the Wi-Fi? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know about you, but Kelly's out there streaming, so that does a lot because she's right by the transmitter. But
Oh, sure.
the fact that we made it this far and we only missed audio for like the first couple questions for them because thankfully they didn't. Did they say anything too crazy in the first couple questions? I don't think so.
I mean, other than getting stuff right? No, not really.
No, that's why we did the writing part. Now, if we were doing the question and answer like voice, then yes, we'd be screwed.
That is true.
So I want to know who this Kevin Lau guy is. This guy that is in our chat going at we can hear people.
My best
That's your buddy?
Tyler.
Yes.
It's my best friend.
That's your best
Yeah,
friend.
we've been friends about 30 years. So
Perfect. Okay.
Well,
and-
shout out to
Look at
Kevin.
day 25.
yeah.
what?
You said 30 years. You don't look a day over 25.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
That's Listen, give him the captaincy. Give him the captaincy shirt now. He wins. We got a new winner.
No, he's just a nice guy. So we'll have to give him the A and change his number to 5. How about that?
People have to remember that Harrison has risked his career 4 separate times last season, allowing me to come live on the air doing Fair State broadcasts. Let's remember that. He risked it 4 times.
That is good.
Actually, 5 times. Pardon me. I did twice at the GLI. I forget.
See, but here's the thing. Thomas risked his entire sanity as a human, letting you get on the getting on the broadcast for Davenport.
The last 3 seasons now.
Yeah, that's a lot on a human. You can only do so much.
Let's remember that Thomas also somehow lived through Mike Milbury. So
one day of Mike Milbury.
You're small potato in comparison in terms of the sanity level.
Very true.
Well, when we mentioned last week, we were talking with Islanders play-by-play Chris King. I'm like, man, we'd love to talk to you for like 2 hours, Chris. Oh, yeah, we love chatting with you. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to ask you about Mike Milbury. He's like, buddy, we don't have 5 hours. Just tell you what kind of a general manager he was back in the day. Oh,
yeah.
Wow, this was fun. I'm glad it worked out for the most part. And Thomas is the victor. Even though he said he was going to go over, he went morpher.
He went 10 for a total of...
How many points would it have been?
2, 4.
It would have been 12, right?
Yeah.
12, yeah. 10 for 12.
8.
Harrison almost pulled off the comeback. So just for you guys to know, the tiebreakers would have been name all of the retired numbers and players numbers and names for the players that have retired jerseys. And then if we had to go to double overtime, say you guys guessed them both right, we would have asked you to name as many players that are in the Hockey Hall of Fame, both builders and players.
It would be as many Detroit Red Wings that were enshrined. So that includes coaches, executives, and players.
There are 64 total, I found out.
I'm confident I would have gotten the first one. The second one's just who can write faster.
Yes, it would have been. We would have given you guys like a minute for that one because there's guys like Andy Bathgate.
Oh, I would have given him
Dion.
a full 90 seconds.
90 seconds?
Oh, absolutely.
We'd give you guys till 8. We'd given you guys till 8:30.
You may have gotten regular overtime because I feel like I would have forgotten one or the matching of the numbers I might have screwed up with the retired jerseys.
Well,
I feel like I could have erred there.
One that people always forget, and it's a bummer because he was a coach and a broadcaster for the Wings, on top of being a fantastic player, was Sid Abel. That's one that people always seem to forget was Sid Abel.
It would have been the number with Sid Abel.
Okay. The number, it would have been, I think I forgot who we would have done it. We probably would have gone numbers first and then.
Well, Tyler, you even got it wrong.
What?
Where's Red Kelly?
Red Kelly's not retired yet. Is Red Kelly retired?
Wasn't Red Kelly's number retired?
Red Kelly's retired.
Yeah.
He retired now?
Oh, was Sid Abel 12?
He was.
Oh, no. I would.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Okay, so I would have been wrong,
you
too.
even got it wrong.
I would have been wrong. I forgot Red Kelly. Well, Red Kelly's the most recent one. That's why. Red Kelly
was done because we tried to get more people on a reason to get people down to Little Caesars when the team had 40 points in the middle of February.
Man,
honestly though,
Red Kelly. Another, like I said, off the top of the show, another guy that was both playing for the He played defense, center for the Maple Leafs, and was in Parliament. That man covered, who was it, 67, so he had to cover Jean Beliveau. Buddy, that guy could do it all.
You know what he couldn't do, though?
What could
he cover the 67?
He was there for 67. He was center. He was playing.
No, since 67.
Oh, no. Norm Allman, listen, I could go, Daryl Sittler. Well, then again,
you can't wear a maple leaf on your chest playing in the NHL and win a cup. It's just not allowed anymore.
Not allowed anymore. Ever since. Well, it's funny because 1967, Alex, was when finally Canada got an official flag with a maple leaf on it. So since then, they jinxed themselves.
True.
Oh, my gosh, did I figure it out? I'm going to call up Dubas. Dubas, we're going to change the name.
Change the name
of the team. We're going to just go back to arenas.
Yeah, let's see how that goes over.
I'm just saying, you got to break the jinx. That's the jinx right there.
I think your jinx is John Portobello.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, well. All right.
But on that note, we are going to take it to commercial, say goodbye to these guys, and finish out the last half hour of the Keel Show. We thank, once again, Harrison Watt and Thomas Biondo for being on the show, both members of the Nine Timers Club, and now captain and assistant captain of the Five Timers Club. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on. We will be back after this.
Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide. Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all ages, welcome back to the Keel Show here on 12 Ounce Sports, brought to you by Second String Leather Company, crafted from the crease. That was the Detroit Red Wings trivia battle of the century between Harrison Watt and Thomas Biondo. Thanks again for both of them for being on the 9-Timers Club and obviously being on, sharing their time and their Detroit Red Wing wits.
Yeah, so for those live that missed the Ken Cal audio and the flashing lights, that will be edited into the replay. Unfortunately, because when we apparently didn't have audio from them, it started off, it also didn't have audio from Ken Cal. So when you watch the replay tomorrow, it'll have the audio and actually the actual cut video, so it won't flash and stuff. I knew that was going to be a problem, and that's something I've realized that I wish we can figure out. Using a laptop is a little bit tough for when you want to have video going while you're streaming, because we had that problem, I think, when I talked with Joseph Zeta a couple months ago now, because we tried to do his recorded video at the same time as we were doing the audio, and it just went haywire. So, like, oh, well, I guess this didn't work after all. So, I think it was fun, though. I think that was...
No, it was a good time. I think it was quite successful.
The reason why the commercial took so long was because of the fact that, well, Thomas Harrison and I would love to get...
Called you a loser.
They called me a loser.
Because you're a loser.
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 Loser. That was me. No, yes, because how did we get there again? How did we describe?
You were talking about the GLI. We talked about Houghton. We talked about how you met Joe Thornton and how you have officially met someone who's played for the Maple Leafs / plays for the Maple Leafs, and how you're basically now one of them.
And I call me a loser.
That's why you're a loser. A loser.
That's the I love you sign, Alex.
That's how Jim Carrey does it, and that's what I was kind of quoting.
Well, he probably has his pinky cranked like this.
Loser.
Yes. See that's a weird looking L. Because this looks like a broken H.
Here's an L. Take it. Just take the L.
Take the
L.
Ride the L train.
Take the L.
So we have a couple more things this is why I left it, because we only got about a half hour left on the show, a little less than half an hour.
We do.
So we got through the signings. Yep. Do we want to talk? What do you think's better? We want to talk about who's left or Ovechkin? I think Ovechkin going to Russia. I think it'd be better for next week. If we can save that for next week.
Let's talk about it now, because we're not going to talk about it next week.
No, maybe not.
I'll save it. It's not going to be good news.
So, it's not news. It's more or less Ovechkin discussing how he wants to end his career.
Well, he wants to play for the team Dynamo Moscow.
Yeah, he wants to go home and play for his hometown team, which is what he did during the 2013 lockout.
Right,
2012 lockout.
And that's what he wants to do before he retires. Now, that's not to say that he's retiring now. It's just saying that, that's his aspiration. That's what he wants to do. And let me go to Cap Friendly to see how much he's got left on his contract, just so everyone is at ease, because I know that we have...
No, scroll back up. You're on the tabs. Get rid of the drop down.
What?
Why in the world?
Because I looked it up, dummy.
Google's a wonderful thing, but also a terrible thing at the same time, because he looked up shop.nhl. We were talking about the Dallas Stars jerseys last week.
No, Google provides ads on a lot of websites, so it throws stuff like this up. And now I just put in Capitals, and now since I'm talking about Capitals and I put Capitals into my thing, now it brings up a Capitals jersey. That's how that works.
Yeah, I know.
I sell my information to the universe. And that's how it works.
You sell your soul.
Alexander Ovechkin is 35 years old. He does have this year left on his contract, so I think that's honestly a big reason why people are talking about it. Is because it's a matter of whether or not he wants to continue playing in the NHL, because he is 35 years old. He does have at this point, I think he's a 1-year-old. His son, Alex.
Oh, his kid. The one that has clearly is left-handed, because he takes his dad's right-handed stick and shoots backhanded with it, so he's left-handed.
He'll learn.
To be left-handed? Yeah, that's fine.
No, right-handed.
No.
He'll be right-handed.
Wrong.
Right-hander.
Left.
But no, so he's got a child at home and everything, and I think...
Well, hold on. Now, he's
got his cup. He's got his cup. No. He's got so many awards to his name.
But...
He's a certified Hall of Famer, first ballot.
But
what?
But
what?
How close is he to Gretzky's record? That's my thing. If he can do it, go for it.
Gretzky's record of,
then again,
total points.
Then again, how old is Pavel Datsyuk? Isn't he like 45, 46?
Your question is, how far is he from Gretzky's all-time points record?
All-time goals record. Points he's not going to make because Gretzky has more assists than everyone who has points in the NHL, I believe.
All-time goals.
All-time goal list. Yager's got 766, but the way the pace
so here's the thing. All right, Alexander Ovechkin is at 706. He needs to get 190. Excuse me. Hold on. Just want to make sure I get this.
188.
80. No, he needs to get 189 to win.
Oh, to go ahead. Yes,
to be the all-time goals leader. 189 goals.
Divide that by 4.
4?
Well, because how many
That's
years?
very 180.
How many years does he have left on his contract?
1.
What? Who was I looking at?
1.
Oh no! Oh no! He's got.
So you're telling me
do it for me. Do it for the fans. Stay.
So you're telling me that he's going to have 47 plus goal seasons.
What would be 5 then?
5?
What would be 5 years?
Sure, let's look up 5. Why not?
37. Or 30. Well,
37 plus.
37.8. So
37 plus.
And you have his cap friendly. Go click on Ovechkin on cap friendly. I'll give you his goal totals in the last his career. Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Yep, I know where it is. Excuse me, thank you.
What was his last? No, not all.
You talking last year? Last year he scored 48. The year before 51, 49, 33, 50, 53, 51, 32, 38.
So
that's going down to 2011,
if
12.
If he can go back to, I don't say his dark days, but when it was still Ovechkin and Backstrom's there, but he's not the same Backstrom. If he can put those numbers up, because the way he's scoring now, Alex, and I don't even think he's even trying. He's just scoring naturally. He can do it. I believe he can do it.
He's in the top 10 for all-time goals.
Because he's 35, you said. If he makes it to 40, if he goes till 43, I think he can do it.
Yeah, he's 35 years old.
I think he can do it. If he goes to 43, I really think he can. He would have to play, 7 or 8 seasons, but I think if he can stay at about a 30 to 35 goal pace for the remainder of his career, he can do it. He can do it, Alex, by the next CBA. By the time the CBA ends. This man has literally done everything there is to do in this game, except win a Selke, I'm pretty sure. Has he ever won the Master? He's never won the Masterton. But he has done an extreme amount of great and good for the game, and he's proven that he's arguably one of the best natural scorers ever. And I mean the word ever, Alex. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, or candy or nuts. I mean ever to the end of time. That's what I think, and that's how good he is. So whether or not he wants to go back to Russia, and if he does, kudos.
He's going to go back to Russia.
He can go back at 46 and still put up 20 goals for Dynamo. He can go put up 25 goals for them. Because, we always talked about on the show, European numbers can get a little askew because of how different the game is over there. But watching him play now, it's almost as if he's better than when the Capitals were still on the rise. Yes, he put up 50 his first season. I get that. 50 goals, over 100 points, over 50 goals as well. But he had, like I said, had a couple years where he's only putting out 30, 35. Man, is Ovechkin peaked already? Nope, he's sitting here in a shortened year scoring 48. And yes, you can count that to scoring being up. You can count that to it easier to score goals in this league. But here he is, Alex, time and time again, proving that he is this ageless wonder. And before people ever come out and say,
well, hold on.
Before you give the accolades, people come out and say, oh, man, but listen, it won't be the same as when Gretzky scored. Yes, when Gretzky scored, back when if you took a slap shot, 95% of the time it was going in the net. If the goaltender was dumb enough to get in the way of that because of their soft little pillows they had on their legs. Back then, how can you else explain 215 points in a single season by Wayne Gretzky? How can you explain when he puts up 92 goals, Alex? No one's ever going to score 92. Unless, except in the OHL, where they're not going to allow hitting. There'll be probably 150 goals in that league by some player. But the way Ovechkin's able to play in the modern era that we are under now. So I'm going to say, we'll just say the recent expansion era from 2000 till now. No, we'll say the post-lockout, 2005 to now. When the game has opened up, the dead puck era is long gone. He has been the best goal scorer, no question about it. And he's being compared to the most natural goal scorers of the entirety of this league. Your Rocket Richards, your Gretzky's, your Lemieux, your Mike Bossies, guys that were synonymous with just scoring goals at will. Ovechkin's one of them, and he's been able to do it. So that's why I think he can hit 900.
2007 NHL All-Star, 2008 NHL All-Star, 2009 NHL All-Star, 2011 NHL All-Star, 2015 NHL All-Star, 2017 NHL All-Star, 2018 NHL All-Star.
He's done it for a while.
Those are just the All-Star games. Now to his awards. 0506 Calder Memorial Trophy, 0708 Art Ross Trophy, 0708 Hart Memorial Trophy, 0708 Maurice Richard Trophy. I'm not even gonna do the years. I'm just gonna go down the list, starting from the top again. Calder Memorial Trophy, Art Ross Trophy, Hart Memorial Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Ted Lindsay Award, Hart Memorial Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Ted Lindsay Award, Ted Lindsay Award.
Okay, how about that?
Hart Memorial Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Conn Smythe Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, Maurice Richard Trophy, and oh, by the way, let's add for this year another Maurice Richard Trophy. By the way, did you know that he won a Stanley Cup? He has all these accolades to his name.
Like I said,
he can't.
Okay.
What I'm going to say.
9 Maurice Richards for the people that were losing their minds listening to you try to list them off.
I understand your argument. I do. I do believe that if he wanted to, he could sign a contract extension, or he could go to a different team. I don't think he would. I don't think it's a smart decision. But I do think that he could play for, let's say, 5 more years, half a decade longer. He'd be 40, or roughly 40 years old by that point. And he would hold the record for most goals in the NHL. He'd be the all-time goal leader in the NHL.
Could you imagine?
But does he want to? That's the question.
No.
Because here's my point. When Zdeno Chara, when his season was over last year, and people asked him, "What are you doing?" What did he say? He said, "I want to play. I want to play. I want to be part of this Bruins team. I want to be a Boston Bruin. I want to play for this team. I want to play for this city." That's what he wants to do. People asked him the year before, "What's his plan?" And he says, "I want to play in Boston. I want to win. I think this is a really competitive team. I want to play in Boston. I want to be a Bruin." That's what Zdeno Chara has done for basically the majority of his entire life, is played for the Boston Bruins. That's what he knows. That's what he's good at. That being said,
why wouldn't you want to leave, Alex?
Alexander
as the
Ovechkin,
best goal scorer ever.
Alexander Ovechkin has played for one NHL team his entire career.
Yep.
Since 05-06 all the way to now. He's played for the Washington Capitals. He has been the face of the Washington Capitals for over roughly 15 years. A decade and a half.
Yep.
Do you honestly think that a player who has all these awards, has all these All-Star appearances, honors, championships...
Well, he hasn't been in an All-Star game for probably 4 years. He's been elected to the All-Star game, but he hasn't gone to him.
Well, the last time he was in the All-Star game was the last time there was an All-Star game.
No. He was elected to the All-Star game. He didn't play. He was selected to it. He didn't play.
Okay, but he was an All-Star. And even if he didn't play, he'd still be an All-Star.
Yes.
If he doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to. It's already been made clear that he wants to end his career in Russia.
Okay.
Now,
but why
but
not?
Hold on here. When Yager decided to go back to his team that he owned, what was the question that was asked to him? What are you going to do after the contract's done? Well, I think I'm going to go back home, play for my team. Made it perfectly clear.
Well, no, he actually got released by Calgary because he wasn't doing much when he came back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like it was released, and what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to go home, play for my team. Why not?
Until Ovechkin doesn't score a goal in a season.
Doesn't? No. Do you really think that he's going to do that? No. You don't. People don't just stop when they're, I really can't. I don't do much anymore. People do either one of two ways. Far enough before they reach the point where they are absolutely sad planet, just not even worth being on the roster, or they leave their peak.
Ovechkin's not okay. Ovechkin's peak was
Ovechkin's peak was 2018. He had won his cup. He got the Conn Smythe Trophy. He reached the mecca of hockey career. He won the Stanley Cup as a captain and got the Conn Smythe in the same year. If he wants, after this one season is over, he's a UFA. He doesn't have the 40-plus rule. He doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to.
It would be fun. It would be fun for him to get the all-time goals record. It would be.
He should.
But would he enjoy it? After all, do you think that? Okay.
Look how many years.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question then. Hypothetically, you made it to the NHL as a goalie.
Yes.
You have all these awards, right? You get the Hart, you get the whatever trophies. You get the Calder as a rookie. Get the Vezina trophy. Get the Vezina like 7 times. Sure, yes. Let's say that. Whatever. You win a Stanley Cup, at least one.
Okay.
You have all these, first in save percentage, all these years and years and years and years. Now, you're tired, 35 years old. You got
if I'm still playing as a goaltender at 35, first of all,
hold on.
God bless it.
Hold on, I'm still going. Your knees are somewhat still intact at this point.
Yeah, this is very hypothetical because my knees are gone. I'm 25.
You have a family at home. You have a kid that you want to spend so much time with, and when you do get the time to, you spend all of your time with him.
Yep. I'm not yelling because I'm bored. I'm yelling because I'm tired now. Sorry.
I think you have at this. Well, if we're going with the hypothetical that you are now Alexander Ovechkin as a goalie, I think you now have a new property, or you have one that you recently bought within the past couple years.
Get to the point.
Does an award or an accolade that would take you another 5 whole years to reach, and that's saying that you have 5 consecutive, consistent years. It could take you 6, could take you 7 years, could take you 8.
Well, this is the thing with. Let me just quick look up, because that's why Marty Brodeur went to St. Louis, because Marty Brodeur wanted to be the best goaltender. He was 9 wins away from 700. He wanted to hit the 700 mark. Now, yes, he already had the record and everything. I get that. That's why he said, you know what, maybe I can't do it. St. Louis ain't working out. Let's just go home. Call it off, get a management job, whatever.
So tell me,
if I was within,
would you do it?
If let's just say, for the sake of it, I was 35, I had 600 wins. That means, Alex, I need to have 5 20-win seasons.
No, not this hypothetical. No. You would have to have. No, we're going with the Alexander Ovechkin, where you would have to spend 5 seasons at least.
Yeah, that's 5 seasons of 20 wins. If I felt like it was reachable, at 20 wins, you can. At that point, you're playing a 1B role. You're playing a Lundqvist role, but Lundqvist is nowhere near it, obviously. If I felt like I was somewhere close enough where I could do it, and people believed I could do it, and I could still play, Ovechkin can, then yes, I'd like to think I can break that record. I like to think that I could go after it.
But would you want to?
Yes,
Because it's an opportunity cost.
I would want to be. Listen,
It's
if Marty Brodeur did not have almost 700 wins, no one in their mind is picking him to be
But I'm
the
asking
best
you.
goaltender.
But I'm asking you. It's the opportunity cost.
Yes.
Do you retire
No.
at your peak? Well, just a little bit past your peak.
Nope.
Where you are arguably the best player of all time. Arguably within the top 10-ish of arguably best player of all time. Probably the best player in your country's history. Arguably.
No, he is.
Versus arguably. Come on now. I include the Soviets with that.
Had I played in the if Fedorov not played in the dead puck area, yes, it would have been a lot different. Same thing with guys like Peter Forsberg. Go list is on and on. Matt Sundin as well.
Or do you spend
retire and play the whole what if game?
Years of playing and getting called washed up, not worth the money.
But at that point you take a contract dip.
It's not even a
Listen, no, you asked me a question.
He's tired.
You asked me a question. Yes, I would do it. If I felt like I had the opportunity and the ability to do it. If I felt like if my legs were the spot where they were at the end of my career, my last game, where I could barely walk in and out of a Boston Pizza, then yes, I probably would have called it. But if I felt like all I had to do, 5 seasons, we have this young prospect, let him play the bulk of the games. I just need to get 20 wins a year, or maybe 15 and play a 6th year, I could do that. I would go for it.
But Ty.
Nope, you're asking me the question, Alex. Don't say this butt stuff when I'm the one answering.
All right, but I'm gonna keep throwing in qualifiers because Alexander Ovechkin is not the 1B goaltender. He's the starting
and he's still the best
of the Washington Capitals. He is the captain.
But yes, you're right. If I was a starting goaltender at 35 still, first of all, that everyone in that man.
Do you think Steve Yzerman doesn't sometimes regret not retiring in 2002 after the 2002 season? And then being thrown to the 4th line, being replaced by Robert Lang on the 1st line?
No, he played with Robert Lang. In 04 and 03, he played with Robert Lang. Or at least in 04 he did. The thing with Steve Yzerman, it's different.
Do you think that
that 03 team still could have won a cup. That 03 team still had the tools to win a cup. They just faltered and age caught up to them. But here's the thing. If you feel like you can do it, if you see that mark, if you see that goal that you can reach, why wouldn't you go for it? Listen, you're right. If Ovechkin, for some reason, next year puts up 10 goals, what if next year he puts up 15 and the year after that only 10? I get it. Then yes, maybe you want to take a step back and be like, all right, not worth it, guys. I'll go home. That's fine. I can accept that. Because at that point, I'll understand that they will not be able to be he won't be able to be the guy. If Marty Brodeur, like I said, if he had not hit 700, if he was not anywhere near 700, he would have retired a long time before. But he saw that number, I'm like, man, 700 is possible here. I can do it. So why not go for it when you can try? If he didn't want it, all right, fine. He stepped out when he realized he couldn't do it. But no one's going to look back at the what if. If Ovechkin retired tomorrow, people are going to look back and say, you know what? I could have done it. And people will look at that forever. Had Ovechkin played a few more years, could he have hit 900 goals? And that's the thing that I don't think he'd want to live with. Because like I said, 45 years old, you still see Pavel Datsyuk being one of the best players in the KHL. He could probably do it, and same thing for Ovechkin. Put him in his power play spot, let him just rip shots. He'll beat any goaltender in the KHL still. To this day. I firmly believe that. And that is how the cookie crumbles, Alex. That's the hill I will die on till the end of time.
Fair enough. With that, got 5 minutes left in airtime, but I think we are going to call it for tonight. We had the wonderful...
What a show.
Wonderful trivia battle of the century between Thomas Biondo and Harrison Watt. Thanks again for both of them for coming on. Harrison Watt being the assistant captain of the 5-Timers Club. Thomas Biondo being captain of the 5-Timers Club.
Yes. What an honor. And a guy that didn't think he was going to be able to do it.
He didn't think he was.
So proud of him.
Next on 12 Ounce Sports, talking Miners, with the rando. He's definitely going to probably have some hot stuff, some hot suey sauce.
Some minor league sports, NA3HL, and more football.
More football.
More football.
Hashtag TKS at the Keel Show to get a hold of us during the week when we're not on.
Next week, we for sure have one guest, Mitch O'Keefe, and I'm going to try to get another that I can't say yet because I may have it. I'm not sure yet.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But for the Inside of the Insiders, Tyler Keel, I am your host, Alex. We will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.